The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, we continue our best of the decade with 2016 through 2019. Hope you guys enjoy. As soon as I press this button.
Shall we play a game?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast that likes to review the decades and get interrupted by animals. I'm your host, Caleb Schweiss.
Caleb Craig.
And Cameron.
And today, guys, we are going to be continuing our Decade in Review segment of the show with 2016 through 2019. So I think... we did through 2015 last time, right? Yeah, because that was Witcher.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's 2010 through 2015.
It's kind of annoying because it's like, really, it's only 4.
And it's all stuff that we've,
done for the show.
Pretty much.
That's
or at least a good chunk.
A very large chunk, yeah. So it's weird to go back to that. Before it was like so disconnected because it's like, oh, remember the good old days when we got to play what we wanted for as long as we wanted?
Yeah, remember the good old days of a decade ago?
Yeah. Now it's like, oh, the shit old days of 5 years ago when we had to do this fucking show. No, I'm kidding. It is kind of true to some extent, though. We can't dump as many hours into Call of Duty as we used to.
No,
but
we have the hours to dump into Conan.
We can still dump quite a few fucking hours into Call of Duty, though. Let's be clear.
I mean, yeah, especially when it's a double XP weekend / double X.
It's double XP weekend every weekend.
It seems to be that way, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's exactly what it is. It's double XP every weekend.
They didn't do that when I got it, though.
I don't know.
They have since I got it.
For me, sure. For me, too. Yeah, for sure.
So, guys, before we get into reviewing 2016 to 2019, what have you guys been playing this week? Craig?
Let's see. This week I've been playing some Call of Duty, obviously. And then I played some Kakarot, that new Dragon Ball Z game that just came out.
Kakarot?
Yep.
The trailer for that looked really cool, actually.
It's pretty sweet. I'm digging it a lot.
It's a fighting game, right?
No, it's an action RPG, actually.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Yeah. They made a couple of action RPGs for Dragon Ball Z before, like on the Game Boy.
Okay.
And those are pretty cool. So it kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
I just remember one that was like a side-scrolling fighter where I had to collect the balls on the Game Boy from a long time ago. That was actually a pretty good Game Boy game.
Which Game Boy?
Advance, I think.
I think that was Dragon Ball Adventure.
That one was pretty fun. I actually liked that.
Was it Kid Goku?
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Adventure.
Yeah, that was fun. It was like a side-scroll thing, and you would fight people and they get the balls. It was really simplistic, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. The Game Boy...
Yeah, it's one of them beat-em-up side-scrollers.
The Game Boy has some cool stuff, but honestly, I looking back at it, I'm like, man, there's almost nothing that I really love. Other than the Pokemon games are pretty fun.
There are some really hidden gems on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance is actually pretty damn good for what it is.
There's also Mega Man Zero, which they made 4 games of, and a few other things that are on there that are pretty
the Star Wars Episode 2 game on there is a cunt. It's so fucking hard.
The Star Wars games in general on any handheld systems are bullshit.
It's not only bullshit hard, it's not fun either. There's nothing fun about that fucking game.
They're awful.
And I was like,
awful games.
Yeah, I was playing it, and I put it down, and that's what I said. I was like, this is terrible. This is truly terrible. This is misery in a little fucking cartridge that I can put into my pocket and carry around with me all fucking day, which is exactly what you do after you play that stupid fucking Star Wars Episode 2 game.
Yep, it's a little dose of misery just for you.
God, it's like the Game Boy Advance version of every game. They're like, oh, here's a fun one. Here's another fun one that's different. Here's the fun one that sucks. Here's the one that just sucks and is miserable and you can't fucking beat. Game Boy Advance version. It's like Harry Potter and the fucking Chamber of Secrets. Got like 5 different games, 5 different releases.
Yeah.
Guarantee you the Game Boy one is the cuntiest of all of them. Guaranteed.
Philosopher's Stone one wasn't too bad.
I can't remember which Game Boy one I played. Was it
for Harry Potter?
Yeah, I'm thinking it was the fourth.
So
fourth
Goblet,
book one. Yeah,
Goblet of Fire.
For sure, yeah.
Was that one on Game Boy Advance?
I'll have
Probably.
to look. I played one of them on the
might be.
Game Boy.
That's just a thing, man. It's just a thing. So, anyway, what else you got, Craig?
I think that's it for me this week. Is just those. Oh wait, no, I did get Hyrule Warriors for the Switch, so I started playing that a little bit. That's about it.
Nice.
It's basically like Dynasty Warriors, but with like Legend of Zelda characters.
Oh, okay. All right. Cameron, what about you? What do you up to,
Played
man?
a lot of the Outer Worlds.
Oh, yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah.
jealous of that. I saw that clip you posted of you killing all those guys, and I was like, man.
Yeah, I thought that was super funny. So I posted 2 clips. One of fucking Jacob egging me on to kill one of those little teacup canids. Those little cute little canids. I used the shrink ray on it instead. So fucking adorable. But then, yeah, there was that scene where I go into the Ministry of blah, 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 and there's just like 8 dudes
Just
fucking...
like a shitload of dudes, and you
just
can't
like
really
right
go
there. And
past.
so I have so perks in the game. I have perks that helps me keep my time dilation up, which is that slowdown time thing you saw.
Yeah.
So every kill, it gives me a little bit more of it. So that's why it just fucking lasts forever, and just fucking laid waste. But that's also kind of like showing you how mid game the game kind of turned for me. It was super easy at that point, just because I could one shot headshot most everything. Everything.
Yeah, it's
The challenge,
pretty-
the
pretty fun game.
challenge, graph of that went up about mid game, then just fucking dropped. No more challenge.
Yeah.
It made me laugh watching Cam do that because I was like, that's exactly what I did when I went in there.
So
I even started slaughtering like the normal people that were in there.
yeah, because they count as enemies as well, so you can just fucking kill anything. You
Oh,
want to
nice.
Kill.
It
It's all
counts towards
enemies.
the reset. Oh, dude.
Like,
I need a couple more seconds. I'll be off this kid and his mom.
You know how
There aren't any kids.
you know how
the
in
Outer Worlds.
Skyrim, if you start just killing random citizens, everyone comes after you and whatnot. And it's like, it's a little hard because, the city guards are not like the easiest unless you're super leveled up, right?
Yeah.
But like mid-game, you can fucking clear out cities of people.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
Especially when you got 2 fucking heavily armored companions that have miniguns.
Yeah, so I played it kind of the lone wolf style where I did extra damage because I didn't have companions with me, but then Craig had companions with him. Like, you can play the game if you'd like, kind of like a Mass Effect way, where you're just the commander and telling people what to do and just keeping track of people's
the
cooldowns.
companions get like special abilities.
So you can play it that
fuck
way.
people over.
But I was playing the lone wolf style, which is the way I play most Fallout games, just because I don't trust companions.
Nice.
Don't trust them.
Why
Nice.
not?
They die so easily.
They don't die.
Not in this game, but in Fallout they do.
I mean, they do, but they just res, and there's like special abilities that you can get for yourself that allow you to revive them like instantly.
Very nice. I just did a Nude Clan Cubby and a Nude Clan Schweiss next to each other, and it's actually pretty fucking cool looking.
I haven't seen that new Clan Schweiss.
Yeah, that one's the pricier Twitch thing. So the free
Yeah,
one.
fuck you.
Shit.
It looks like the fucking flaming skulls from Doom.
That's
but
what.
it's your
Yeah,
face,
that's
yeah.
what Joe made it look like.
Yeah,
It's just like the creepy picture of me with the snowboarder
yeah.
outline.
Well, just like this, Craig. Everyone has more pictures of Lincoln in their pocket than they do of of Andrew Jackson.
I think
so-
that's the pricier tier because I wanted Craig's to be the one that everyone had, so it's just the Twitch Prime one. But mine's the one where if you pay a little bit more, you get the Schweiss.
subscribe harder.
Subscribe harder. Yeah, that's
is there
it.
a way to like give bonuses to people who keep resubscribing?
I think if we become like partnered, yeah, we could do a lot more.
If you
Okay.
get partnered with Twitch, there's a lot more.
Yeah,
we can
that's
do.
not fucking.
Like,
But as an
we
affiliate-
we can only have like what 2 of those emote things until we're partnered.
We can do 3, but they have to be different tiers. So like other people, you can give like for $5. Other people that are partnered, they can give like 10 different emoticon things. But like we can only do 1 because we're only affiliated.
Okay.
Which we're lucky we are because Amazon cut us off at the knees, those cockmongers, and Amazon owns Twitch.
Yeah.
And of course, we love Amazon. We just don't like
because
how
of Audible.
because of Audible. AudibleTrial.com. Let's ruin another one of our sponsors. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a sponsor. I'm kidding. Don't take it away from us for making it seem like it is. It's just a nice thing to have on the side.
That makes us
Promoting.
pennies every so often.
Yeah, every once in a while. Yeah. Yeah, that's the sad part. Is that's actually what the Amazon was.
What they can do a reverse me.
I should look into
funny.
seeing if I can get a beard thing to sponsor me and / us.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so I have to start a fucking Instagram to
Yeah.
market beard products.
Did you guys see that thing I got? The email I got from that site?
Yeah.
What email? From what site?
There was like something that said that Nude Clan was in the top 60
Oh, yeah.
podcasts or whatever.
Yeah, that's a fucking scam. Don't click on anything.
Well, I clicked on the link, and
Of course you
it
did.
does have us in there. And it is a website, so I was like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know how they gauge what's what, but I thought that was kind of cool. It was, it was like something spot. And I mean, it does kind of look like spam, so I was like, oh.
No, 100% looks like spam. But at work, I get emails worded like that all the fucking time from actual developers. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So you never know.
yeah. Sometimes,
Sometimes
But-
they're just retarded.
well, it's not their first language. So
That too, yeah, that too. So, yeah. What else have you played? I know you played at least one other thing.
did I?
Yeah, yesterday. I was jealous about it.
Modern
Conan.
Warfare.
Oh yeah, fucking Conan. Yeah, I played a little bit of Conan. I fucking 2 hours of Conan yesterday. Yes, I played some
It's
Conan
just a
this
touch,
week.
just a touch
of Conan. Yeah, and
touch
it's like
of
we
the-
get on because we're gonna go
touch and a
find out
squeeze.
where the fucking purge was attacking, and we go, oh well, it's not at this camp. Well, it's not at Iron Camp nor New Camp. Oh, I have no idea. And then fucking Corey's all by himself at Jungle Camp, fending off the entire wave.
Is that the only place they attacked?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's lucky.
And then Bonsack was all by himself trying to fend that off.
It's not
And then we
lucky.
were on like, well, I don't see it.
It's not lucky for him. That's for
Yeah.
sure. That's weird because Roxo and I killed like 80 people yesterday before we got offline because we were trying to trigger it, but it didn't happen until A for Extreme jumped on. And
Yeah.
It was like instant. So, all right, cool. That's it for you?
Yeah.
All right, so I played Modern Warfare. I got the Platinum trophy in it, so I went back and
Oh, you
redid
actually got the plat.
Yeah, the only trophy I'm missing is the co-op mission things.
Oh, for the add-on content.
Yeah, that's the only one that's missing. Got my P90 gold, so that was fun.
On Modern Warfare?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was kind of annoying having
Yeah.
to do some of the...
And then you realize there's it goes deeper. There's 2 other levels of skins you can get.
How do you even get those?
Because you have to unlock the gold for every other submachine gun, and then you have to unlock the platinum for every other submachine gun before you get the highest tier.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm
What is
surprised
the
that you went
highest
for
tier?
the platinum. Platinum? I don't know. Forgot about it. All I wanted was the gold. Now I have it. I'm just like empty inside. No more goals to work towards.
Yeah.
But surprised you went for the P90. I went hardcore for that MP5.
I really like the P90. The MP5 hasn't spoken to me yet.
Oh
I
man, it
tried to
fucking
use it
whispers just fucking in my
seductively.
ear. Just fucking.
The MP7's really nice. Fires
I like
really
it
quick.
too. Yeah, but it's no MP5.
I've got the MP5 equipped on my main class, so that's what I'm going to try to do next because everyone talks about it. It just hasn't.
Apparently it's the gun that tryhards use, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's the gun that I've seen some of the people that get paid a shitload of money for their videos on YouTube using. So
Yeah.
I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
Those guys get millions of views, and they're fucking people up with that gun.
It's a good gun, especially with the 10mm rounds on them.
Yeah, I like the P90 and the Ram 7.
Yeah, I can't do assault rifles anymore for some reason. I just can't. Like I could do it with the FAL if it's a single shot,
Right.
and I really like the single shot in COD.
You were
It's
using
just
the
too
Odin,
slow.
weren't you?
Yeah, Odin's too slow too, though. The single shot's not too slow for me, but the AK and the Odin, those are too slow for me. I
You
can't.
can switch them to single shot.
It doesn't do enough damage, though. I need a single shot that's meant to be a single shot, like a marksman rifle. Those are meant to be 1 or 2 shots.
Yeah. So people really like that car for the single shot guns.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's a good one. It's usually 1 to 2 shot, and that's if you're good, you can pull it off almost every time.
Yeah.
The car, I've only played it, used it on a couple maps, and they were really big maps, and so I needed to be more mid to long range, not purely long range.
Right.
So I need to try it out.
So Chase, you would pay for a beard cam emote if I put on glasses now, or if I have glasses as part of the emote?
Yeah,
Probably if you had glasses
As part of the
in
emote. That's what I'm thinking.
we have a Cameron. No, I don't think the Cameron even
No,
got
we never.
approved.
Yeah.
We
got
can
it.
get one made.
Yeah.
Just
Nah.
got to grow the beard out.
Well,
more.
if there's enough people wanting it, then maybe. But
I was gonna switch between us, like every few months. Like mine becomes the cheapy one, and then yours would become the cheapy one. But I haven't done that yet because we kind of stopped streaming. But now we're streaming again, so it's
well, hopefully, yeah.
We can
Hopefully
play
the
that.
Saturday stream day becomes an actual thing.
yeah. We just have to finish up here, and then we can do it. Conan Exiles. Oh fucking yeah! So I played that for a pretty good chunk of this week, like many hours, probably about 12 hours, 13 hours this week. Prepping for the end game. We're harvesting items from the final bosses to then take our bracelets off and exit the exiled lands. We're getting pretty close.
And then finally, Conan will come to an end.
No, that's just the beginning.
That's just the beginning.
Yeah,
Get your asses ready for that wheel of pain.
that's right. It's dude, I don't want to give this game up. I honestly don't. It's
Now we're going into PvP.
yeah, we're gonna do PvP, and then I'm gonna have my intimate server on the side where it's single player, just me, just doing my thing, playing around with it. There's just something that's fucked up, man. I don't know what it is about this game, but it's like
No, but
It's because slavery.
yeah, it's
probably is, yeah.
It's exactly what it
It's
is.
slavery.
But when we go to the PvP server, I'm gonna want to get some tournaments hosted because we're not going to. So let's just say it right now. Anyone who joins the PvP server will automatically be level 60. There's no point to grind to level 60 because no one will fight until they are level 60 anyway.
that's true. Yeah, it'll be like
and the grind
first,
is in building, gathering resources to build.
It'll be the first 5 hours of any Age of Empires 2 or any Civ 5 game where we don't
So,
fight and then we
right.
suddenly fight.
Anyone who wants to join the PvP server automatically level 60, but we're going to pretty much keep the resource gain normal. But what we will do every week, I feel like, we'll host a tournament, kind of a gladiator style type thing, or we can just change the game thing, and the winner gets to take home a lot of resources to build stuff. And then, if it's a gladiator style, they'll get to keep the resources of the players that they defeat. So it'll be a little bump, a little bit of fun stuff to pull everyone together for, and then we will have to decide on when the real raid hours are. When everyone's online, so we can do base raids and stuff like that.
Yeah, because we want to be able to. It's PvP the whole time, but we don't want to be able to raid each other's bases when we're not on.
When you're not on. So it's definitely going to have to be raid hours set.
Yeah, because there's no point in testing someone's defenses if they're not there to
Right.
man the defenses.
Right.
It's like, there's no reason to do that. It's just dumb.
So people who want to join, let us know. We'll give you the server credentials.
Yeah,
so
the
you get
only.
logged in.
I think right now we're planning on keeping resource gain about the same.
Yeah, because you have to make rewards won through tournaments like super nice, and you have to really gauge, how many resources I'm going to invest in raiding someone's base versus how much they would have.
Yeah, so if we have resource gain super high, no one's going to be raiding
Right.
bases because there's no reason to risk yourself.
Exactly. And then another thing that I am planning on doing, I haven't run this past you just yet, but I feel like we should set up a map room outside of every obelisk, and then a map room outside of some resource hotspots.
I've thought about that. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
We'll talk about it, but if we keep the resource gain at what it is, but make other things like traveling a little easier, I feel like we'll attract more people to play.
Yeah, probably.
So-
Because that's a grind in and of itself, you know?
So, yeah, we can talk more about that. We'll get some of the rules down, but as soon as these fuckers finish the fucking game,
Yeah,
we can start the real game.
we can, yeah. The true game will begin. So, good amount of that. And then I also started Metal Gear Solid 3. I got all the Metal Gear Solid games, and I'm going to start playing those.
I need to find my Vita so I can play that.
I've thought about doing a platinum run for 3 because it's pretty easy if you follow a guide, but I think I'm just going to play through it the first time just to get the story, and then if I want to come back for trophies later, I'll do that. Because the whole point of this is to like rediscover the story of the games and finish the story, because I never finished 4 and 5 or Peace Walker, so I've only played like 3 of them.
Are you going to play it in like chronological order, or
Yeah.
just like in-game chronological, or like when they came out?
In-game. So in-game is 3 Portable Ops, Peace Walker. I think it's 5. 5's like Ground Zeroes. Then 5's 5 itself, and
Phantom
then
Pain?
Metal Gear, and then Metal Gear 2, and then Metal Gear Solid, then Metal Gear Solid 2, and then Revengeance. I think that's the order. It's ridiculous, but I think that's the chronological order for the in-game timeline. So first one is 3, which is a really good game, so it's a great first one to play. So yeah, I only played like an hour of that, but it was enjoyable. Need to play more. So now that we know what everyone's been playing this week, the real question, guys, has anyone beaten a game this week? Craigie?
No, I haven't.
Cameron?
Yes.
Oh, Cameron did.
Yes,
Wow.
I did.
All right, what did you knock out?
Outer Worlds.
Oh, you finished it, huh?
Yep.
I kind of needed to. Next week is the review.
That's true. Is it because it became so easy that you just burned through it?
Yeah, it got to a point where...
I don't know if there's a max level in there, but by that time you get close to 30, nothing can stop you.
And so another feature of the game, and of course we'll talk more about it in the review, is when you do so many engagements, take so much damage, it'll give you basically a... Is it like a fault, or what do they call it? Basically, you could you'll get like something that you do worse at, like you take more damage from a certain source.
Yeah, it's like a weird trait type thing.
So basically, it'll give you something that you like. I'll take more damage from energy sources. I'll take more damage from acid stuff. But it gives you a perk as well at the same time, and I feel like that is super powered because you can blow through that perk tree super fast when you keep those.
How many did you get? Because I only got 2 of them.
I got 3 of them, pretty sure.
I got one for the,
And then
insects and for the raptidons.
And so all I would do is just wear heavy armor. I know I was doing like a light sneaky build, but if you wear heavy armor that doesn't, do a minus to your sneak stuff, I still do full critical damage at that point. I blew through the perk tree, have heavy armor that takes care of all the extra damage that I would take, and I fucking blew through it. And so I'll talk more about it when it's the review.
Yeah,
so
you only got to wait a week.
Very nice.
I have some things to say about the game, for
Yeah.
sure.
So the hog for the host is as follows. Caleb, Craig, and Cameron tied for first place with 2 games. I am in last place with 1 game beaten. Very close to Conan, though.
I think this is the first time ever Cam's been ahead of you.
I think that might be true, yeah. Because usually at the beginning of each year, I hit it hard, and then I sizzle out.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I'm just beating games.
I mean, you do have 3 weeks till your next game anyway, so...
Yeah, so it'll be pretty soon for the next 2 for me. But, Cameron might play that Star Wars game with us, too, though. It depends on what he wants. It's all up to you.
Maybe. I mean, I don't want to buy
I don't think you'd like it.
You don't think I'd like it?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
We do have to buy one.
It's hard to say without talking about it before the review.
We have to buy at least 1 copy for the show, though. So we could buy one and have you play it if you want.
Do
you feel like my point of view would be a good thing about, to bring to the table about the game, though? Would it be a more rounded review if all of us played it?
I think it'll be a fairly fair review as it is.
Okay, so you're saying that there's things you don't like and that you're going to
Yes.
bring to the table. Okay.
And you
All right.
think that I will like?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll be determined to.
I will
love
say
it.
this: it's not Sekiro, even though it tries to be, and it's not good for it.
Yeah, well, nothing is Sekiro. I mean,
Sekiro, like I said, just those ancient Japanese coding techniques and just the method of folding the code in on itself to
Yeah.
create beautiful code patterns.
Sekiro is way too fluid,
Yeah.
and the Fallen Order is no. It's like Fallen Order is a rock, and Sekiro is the river.
oh,
Wow, that's a very potent descriptor.
And the rock is trying to be the river. There you go. That's
Dwayne Johnson is trying to be who goes by the river. I have no idea.
I don't know. I
Who-
don't
who
think
uses the
anyone.
river
I don't
as the
think
moniker?
anyone is trying to be the river, other than the rock.
Anyways, all right.
all right. So, guys, let's talk about 2016. So, lots of games from 2016.
Hell yeah, there was.
Yeah.
It's getting good. I mean, it was good before when we were talking about these years. To be honest, 2015 was really fucking strong.
Last
It
year,
really was, yeah.
year, one of these games that came out in 2016 was my most played game of that year.
Yeah, and that would be Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Yeah,
No, I bought that right when it came out.
Yeah.
I played it for a while, and then nobody joined me for it until you got really into it. And I was like a year later, and I was like,
Like, I'm just saying, it probably would check all the boxes that you were looking for when playing League. It's just team play, gameplay, and that's what I star for.
well, I mean, it's not a MOBA, so it wouldn't
Where-
check that box.
Well, not being a MOBA, it's not as strategic. But when you're looking for just some quality team play, like Overwatch, it's just a great thing you can jump into, work as a team, and that's just what I'm starving for. Like Modern Warfare, that's all about just you. That's all about you running and gunning. Whereas,
That's why
Search and Destroy, you can get a little more team play elements, but not as much. But Overwatch,
There's a couple.
I feel like
modes.
we missed it. There's an alternate reality out there where we all got super good at it and created the professional Utah team.
yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah?
made it into the leagues, yeah.
Jesus, I don't know. Maybe you guys. I liked Overwatch, and I
You
played
played
a
it
little.
like 2 times.
Yeah,
It
you know.
really was like 2 times.
And you played Hanzo both times.
Yeah, I like Hanzo. He's good. You know, he's a good character.
I knew he was going to be the one that Schweiss would.
I don't know
like,
why
too.
he didn't want to try a Widow.
I don't know.
I
think
tried
he'd
the
also like
lesbian
the,
one, Tracer. I played her.
Tracer's a little bit more in depth than... Like, Hanzo is a good character, and he was meta a little bit ago. But I would argue he's a bit easier to play adequately than Widow or Tracer.
Yeah, no, he
What's
is.
the cowboy guy's name again?
McCree.
McCree. That's right. I think
It's
Schweiss
high
would
noon
like
somewhere in the
McCree.
world.
I liked McCree for a long time.
Yeah, that's a good game, but I didn't give it enough time to fall in love with it like you guys did, for sure. A game I did kind of fall in love with, though, Dark Souls 3. I don't know if it's falling in love, but
I
really
like Dark
enjoyed.
Souls 3 a lot too. Actually.
I liked it.
I kind of want. I've kind of been feeling like doing another playthrough, but I want to finish doing the,
Probably.
The DLC first because I'm on
So
the
far, I
second
still like
DLC, the Ring City.
The first Dark
and
Souls more than Dark Souls 3. I can't say anything about Dark Souls 2 yet because I
you
haven't
should get
beaten it.
you should get the DLC.
Okay.
I don't know. Dark Souls 1, after finally beating it, it is a pretty good game.
I fucking loved the first Dark Souls. There was something fucking about it. I don't know. I can't describe it, but just that game really fucking spoke to me.
I want you to play Demon Souls really bad.
Do you think I like it more than Dark Souls?
Probably not.
I've never played Dark Souls, so I don't know, but it feels like the kind of game you would like more.
Okay.
Because imagine Dark Souls being combined with Bloodborne,
Okay.
and that's pretty much what it is.
Okay. Well, I won't know until I play it.
At least aesthetically.
Yeah.
Because it's got like a dungeon level that has like a bunch of those like mind flayer dudes.
Right.
And that... That was rough. It was a rough place. Yeah, I really like Dark Souls 3, and I really do kind of want to try another playthrough because I want to. There's a lot of replayability in those games.
Oh yeah, so much
and
replayability.
I went through as a knight, and I kind of want to try as like a mage and like a few other things. And I know that I think was it Chase versus Game that wants us to do a playthrough with him.
Yeah. There.
Yeah.
Well,
Or Death Sword.
That's
That's right. Death Sword wants us to do a playthrough. And I do want to do that, but we need to do a fucking run through of that fucking Ring City. I need to get that shit done before I can restart because I want the boss weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so another game that was really big for me, put about 100 hours into it, Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, that was a big one. Yeah.
I put about 10 hours into it.
Yeah, not a fan.
I don't know. Something about it just didn't keep me coming back.
It's because it's not that great a game.
And even though you bought it for me, Craig.
I know.
Somebody bought it for you. Did you actually pay for it?
No.
Yeah, Amazon, our good friend Amazon bought it for you.
Well, I mean, they did
Hammer.
fuck up my thing, so...
So fuck him.
The final expansion to the Witcher 3 came out, Blood and Wine, this year.
Oh, nice. That was part of Game of the Year, I
Blood
think.
and Wine is fucking good.
Yeah.
Another hardcore game that's Dark Souls-esque and just like difficulty level that came out this year.
Surge?
Was it Surge that came out this year? Did it?
It was either that year or 2017. I'm not sure.
Oh, I'll have to look into that. I mean, yeah, if Surge came out, then fuck yeah. But I was talking about Darkest Dungeon.
Oh, yeah, you played that, didn't you?
Yeah, I put some hours into that. It's a very difficult game, but addicting at the same time. I was playing that on the Switch. I need to get back into it because I still haven't beaten it yet. But Darkest Dungeon, man.
Yeah,
It was 2017.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
you
talk
talked
about it in a
about
minute, then.
you talked about Darkest Dungeon, and that did seem pretty cool.
Like,
A really
I
cool
wouldn't
concept,
mind if
at
that was
least.
nominated, even though I feel like we'll have a very hard time beating it within a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, it's super long, right?
It's supposed to be. It's also really difficult, and your characters can...
Your characters die.
Perma-die, so...
Perma-
Oh,
die.
Another game that we played on the show, Last Guardian. This came out this year,
Yep.
Yeah.
2016.
It was a good one.
Nah.
I enjoyed it. Joe cried, but doesn't take much to make Joe cry. So
Yeah.
It was okay. I don't know. I
Pokemon-
didn't like it as much as Ico.
Pokemon Go came out this year too, guys.
Pokemon Go did come out.
Fuck! It also died that year, right?
To an extent, it's still
Yeah, Sun
pretty
and
popular
Moon
in
also
certain
came
circles.
out that year. So
Yeah.
those were...
But
those were okay.
let me before we get into our favorite game of that year, and our favorite game probably for quite some time, I'm going to talk about a game that had a lot of controversy, but then also a little bit of a redemption story. I'm talking about No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
No Man's Sky came out in 2016 to the hopeful audiences. This game promised to be everything. And it broke our
eventually
hearts.
became that.
It broke our hearts. The devs went silent. Everyone was super mad at them. And everyone's like, fuck me for pre-ordering shit like this.
Yeah.
Everyone was so fucking mad at them, including me. But then as the years went by, the devs finally started talking to us again. And then today, No Man's Sky is actually a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it supports VR natively too. So if you have it on Steam, you can just throw on your fucking VR headset and
You
experience
can do that with the
whole
on
new
PlayStation
worlds.
as
You can clean the cum stains off your VR headset and start it up.
well. Yeah.
Craig and I have played a little bit. We need to get back into it. We kind of have a game that we're in the middle of right now,
Yeah.
No Man's Sky. All the features that he promised, there's still some of them that don't exist, but for the most part, No Man's Sky now is an excellent game.
I think they're still working on it too.
Oh
So,
yeah,
and
they constantly they did not
They added vehicles. They added the.
I feel
the
like-
ability to,
I feel like
do
what
stuff
happened-
underwater.
I feel like what happened is that they promised the game that they wanted to do so much stuff, and they just wanted to give the world this great idea. publisher was pushing to publish. It's time sticking on. Like, we need to make money off of this.
Yeah.
And he was talking this game up and down, Sean McMurray. And when the time finally came, like, he's now he has to push out a game that's not quite what he promised, and he pushed it out, and the backlash happened, and he went dark. But instead of just taking the money and run, Hello Games they fucking increased the number of people that they had working on the game. Like, so the money he did make, he immediately turned around and reinvested it into No Man's Sky to bring us a quite fun game now. So
yeah, that'd make an interesting review because it's such
by
a
itself
hated game
would make an interesting review. Like, doing No Man's Sky would be an awesome review, and not just. I feel like it would be more of a review of a developer studio than it would be of the game itself.
I think Schweiss, you would like it a lot too, just because of the economy and type things that you can do in there.
If only you could play through the game as it was when it launched, and then play through the game as it is now.
I mean, you probably could. You just wouldn't play it with any of the updates. Because there's no copy of the game that comes initially with the updates.
Okay, yeah,
That's
so you
true.
can just buy the game, play through. Super fucking
by
boring.
myself.
Yeah, super fucking boring.
Yeah, another game that came out this year that spoke to Cameron a lot is, and he's surprised by it. I Am Setsuna.
Actually, yes, that game actually surprised me how much I liked it, and I still listen to the soundtrack for that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still listen to it all the time.
Thinking back to playing it, it's like, no, there was a lot of really fun things in there. A lot of really cool systems. They didn't explain it super well for the, like, upgrading your moves.
It was
but
more along the lines of they wanted you to figure stuff out, how it works, but of course the internet is a thing, so...
Yeah.
That company actually has two games that came out since then. It's
I'll have to look into it.
Lost Sphere and a new one that came out last year.
Have you played
Oninaki.
any? Have you played either of them?
I haven't yet.
Yeah, maybe we'll play through some of those because I actually really did enjoy I Am Setsuna.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah,
was
that
more
was-
of a engaging story experience. The gameplay was pretty decent, but and the music, I don't know. It was just everything about that game packaged as it was, I felt like was perfect for that game.
Yeah, it was a pretty fun little game. I want to go back and finish up the plat. I have one more trophy.
Yeah.
It's beating, like, the super bosses, and I was grinding out, I can't remember what they're called, but, like, the additions to your moves. Remember those? Where, like, you'd have a percent chance of, like, this dropping on your items or your move set.
Yeah.
And so I'm going in and fighting random battles over and over and over again, spamming these moves to try to get that super buff so I can just go through and, like, annihilate the final guys to get the plat. And one of these days I'll go back and finish it up, but it's actually, I think it's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
A game that we all played way, way too much from this year, though, Battlefield 1.
Yeah, we did play that
Fuck
a
yeah.
shitload.
That's a good Battlefield right there. That's
Battlefield
a good
1.
Battlefield.
Yeah.
I think it's the second best Battlefield in my opinion.
It was
so
it
far.
was divisive at first, but yeah, Battlefield 1 hit home in a real good way.
The sniping is pretty fucking good in that game.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it as much in that one, but I still like 4's the best.
Yeah, before
I like
the
it.
best.
I like it a lot better than 5's.
They were playing with
I will say
the
that.
sweet spot mechanic in that game when it came to sniping, where certain ranges would do full damage, and you had to make sure you kept in that range. But that's also why the Martini Henry rifle had the largest sweet spot range, which is why it fucking just dominated.
Yeah, that was a good gun. I never got all the upgrades to it, but it's a beef. It's a beef stick. That's a great game, though. I think Battlefield 1 is solid. Story was good. Online was fun. Game modes were fun. They didn't update the game a ton, but like the game I thought was pretty good on launch. I personally loved it from the beginning. I wasn't very good at it, and I think they probably balanced a few things to make it so that it's not so fucking ridiculous. But that was a good Battlefield. And that's the last Battlefield I've been really into.
Yeah. Battlefield 5, it's back and forth.
Yeah.
I haven't played it since they made some changes to it. They recently rebalanced the rebalance that they did for the weapons and how many bullets it takes to kill people.
Yeah.
I haven't played it since then. I haven't played it really since we got Modern Warfare, which says some stuff. Because I love Battlefield.
Yeah, we've been Battlefield fans for a long time, and I'm like, you know what? I think
But
COD
I'm going to add
actually-
it to the stream schedule, so we will play it all together.
I was like,
again at some point.
I think COD won this round. It doesn't happen very often, but I
No,
think
it's
they might have.
because they did something smart this time. They
Yeah.
listened to what the fan base wanted, and they provided something that was fucking fantastic. So,
Yeah, World at War World War II. I didn't really play online, so I can't say if that one was.
yeah, I never really touched that one. I
Good.
played it online a few times, but it was Call of Duty in
Yeah.
World War II.
Yeah,
Nothing special to say about it. Shotguns fucking ruled that game. So
yeah. This one, I think there's something good about Modern Warfare. I like it a lot.
yeah.
So, but that's not yet. That's later.
It just
in the
feels like
episode.
the Modern Warfare 2 Call of Duty, it just felt like they were following a trend that Battlefield's trying to set by going back. So Battlefield did World War One, so Call of Duty's like, oh, I guess we got to go back, so let's just do World War II again.
Yeah,
And so that's what happened, and then now Battlefield 5 is trying to do World War II again, but there's several things that they are not doing right that made the game suffer.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just not. It's not up to snuff. It's weird. So, game of the year. I don't have any other games from this year that really stand out. I played Civ 6 for like 10
you played
days.
Doom doesn't
Titanfall.
stand out for you?
No, that's game of the year. He was about to mention Doom. Way to take his thunder. But what other games before we mention Doom?
Hitman came out this year, which was a surprise for me that I actually really liked it. It's one of those. I never played the Hitman series before. You know, have you played the Hitman games twice?
I played a few on PS2.
Twice. Don't forget Far Cry Primal.
Yeah, Far Cry Primal.
Was that
came out
that
this-
same year?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's a year.
Far Cry Primal,
Yeah.
and then Deus Ex Craig, and then also Craig, the Division we spent some time in.
Yeah,
I got
know.
super bored
There's
of
a
that
lot
game.
of stuff that came out this year.
There was
Came
so
I
fucking
still have
much.
more.
But all of that, okay, I'll let you. Oh, fucking Persona 5 came out this year.
Yep. Okay. So anyway, it's a big year. So yeah, Hitman really surprised me. Really dug it. It's a great reboot of a series. I've never played the other one, so I can't really say what the difference was, but I liked it a lot. Then Uncharted 4 also came out this year. I know I'm the only one who's played any bit of it, but it's a really fucking good looking game. And then XCOM 2 came out. That one's a pretty hard strategy game, and I've always liked those kind of games.
Oh my god, Gone Home Console Edition came out.
Fuck off. Broforce Console Edition came out, and
my
I
God.
fucking love Broforce. Everyone should play Broforce. It's so good. They've added a lot more bros. I love it. And then Yakuza Kiwami came out this year.
Craig, World of Final Fantasy.
I know World of Final Fantasy came out. I don't like it.
World of Mediocrity.
Yeah, it really is. It's oh god, it's awful. Yeah,
I don't know if it's awful, but
I mean, it's just
it's pretty painful in numerous ways, though. That's for sure.
yeah. I mean, I was hoping for something that was not what it was. Rise of the Tomb Raider is another good game that came out this year.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh my god.
What?
How could we forget? How the fuck could we forget?
What? Civ 6?
No, never mind. That's not the one we played.
Civ 5.
Cyber Sleuth.
Oh, Cyber Sleuth?
But that's not Hacker's Memory. That's
Oh.
later.
Well, those
Fuck, that's
technically-
2018, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Why the fuck did that game come out in 2018? Hacker's Memory? What the fuck?
I think they
We'll
were
talk about
actually
it in a
older
few
games that were
minutes.
like ported.
No, dude. Fuck that. No, that's not.
I'm pretty sure they were like PSP games that were ported.
That's a goddamn lie.
I'm pretty sure it was. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was. What the fuck else? Oh yeah, Pokken Tournament for Wii U came out. I really like that one. It's a Pokemon fighting game made by the guys who did Tekken. They did a really good job with it, and I'm surprised they haven't really done a sequel. They ported it to the Switch later on, and then added a couple DLC characters. But I like that one, and I should bring my Switch so you guys can try it out.
Yeah.
It's fucking sweet. Yeah, and then the Division. Cam and I played the fuck out of that. We did a review for it.
Which is exactly why I won't buy the Division 2.
Yeah, it's too much. You're done.
I got burned out so
They
fast.
dropped the price on it really fast.
Unless they change the gameplay to make it different enough from the first Division, I'm not going to buy it.
I think they balanced it out more, but
I
there's
got
not-
so
there's not
bored
like
of
a
the first Division.
shitload of change.
Exactly. It's just fucking bullet sponge after bullet sponge. And then fucking,
They're less bullet
same
spongy.
weapon versus the fucking same weapon that just does a little bit more damage. Oh, fuck that game. Let's review it again.
Yeah, review it again and give it zeros.
Fuck you. Fuck you and your fucking grind and for nothing. No reward.
Street Fighter V came out this year. Fucking love Street Fighter V. Not as much as Street Fighter 4, though. But it's a good one. And then the story mode for that came out as a DLC, which is a really weird choice. But, yeah.
Yeah. So, game of the year, if you guys don't have anything else,
No.
is a game
Let's talk about it.
we haven't mentioned yet.
Well, yes, we have.
Well, we mentioned Craig did the thing that he always does to Joe, but he did it to me this time. We're about to say something awesome.
I legitimately thought you forgot that Doom came out. So I was like,
I mean,
are you fucking
somehow,
kidding me?
Craig, I picked up on it.
So I thought he was talking about Far Cry Primal because, like, he loves Far Cry Primal
You
because we
already
all
mentioned
do.
Far Cry Primal.
But you mentioned it after, though.
We could talk. Yeah, Primal is okay. Let's talk about that first. So Primal is not the game of the year, but it's a pretty fun game.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
It got me back into Far Cry because
Not my favorite Far Cry, but it was good.
Far Cry Primal directly came out of Far Cry 4.
I think it is my favorite Far Cry. I like it more than
Did you
3.
play 4?
No, I didn't play.
You
I
need to
played
play
it.
4.
I didn't finish it. Far Cry is actually a pretty cool series. They have really compelling bad guys, really interesting, well thought out bad guys. 3 on basically.
Which is why you
Fives
need to
is
play 4.
really odd. Have you got 5 now, right?
I have it, yeah, and New Dawn.
Yeah, you should play those.
I will.
The New Dawn is a direct sequel to 5.
Did you not play 4?
No, I never. I
Yeah, you
played.
should
I
play 4.
started 4. Craig, you own it, right? Physically.
Yes. Cam I think has it still.
I'll have to borrow it.
Maybe.
and
I'll check.
I'll
Just to make
hit.
sure.
I'll hit 4, and then I'll go to 5 and
Yeah.
New Dawn.
Yeah, Pagan Min is like a really good bad guy.
Yeah,
He's like my
And then there's
favorite
that
Far Cry
fucking
bad
the
guy.
fucking little Easter egg. You can beat the game in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
yeah. Primal is so
Just gotta
cool
wait
though.
for that fucking crab rangoon or whatever it was.
Like it's got funny characters, it's got good dialogue, fun combat. I liked gathering all the stuff. I liked the crafting system in it. I think killing like ancient beasts is so cool. Like
Taming the animals.
Yeah, taming the animals. The glitches were really fun, like the mountain of tamed animals killing themselves off the cliff for Craig.
I remember that. Yeah, my fucking Sabretooth kept running off the fucking cliff, dying. I just looked down, and it was like a fucking pile of them because he just like spawned and run off again.
Yeah, it's like Daisy with the fucking hive mind crawling up the mountain thing. Like they're just hive minding their way up to you. I
found so many glitches in that game.
It's just so fun, you know. It's such a ridiculous game. Like the grappling hook is so fucking ridiculous.
Dude, all the Far Cries are really ridiculous. Like in Far Cry 5, you can throw a fucking shovel like it's a spear. It's fucking awesome. I speared a guy in the face with it. It's so good.
Nice. It's a fun little series. Like it's not something to take too seriously. Like a great overarching narrative. Like Devil May Cry, or not Devil May Cry, Metal Gear Solid.
Devil May Cry.
Yeah, an excellent overarching narrative. I don't know why I said Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry has like no narrative at all.
Metal Gear Solid, or like some Final Fantasy games, or what's another good series that's Max Payne has a cool narrative. Like you're not going to get the same that you will from like some of these other games, but it's just a lot of fun, and you can do a lot of fun things. And like with Far Cry 3, like I don't know how many times I saw like one Komodo dragon just take out like a squad of dudes. It's like that is the most lethal beast that's ever lived, and he's just guys with AKs are just getting fucked.
The Herc from Far Cry 3 is in 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
He talks about how he went to the whatever island that is in 3.
Yeah, 3. They're just cool games. They kind of get really tropey though. There's always the scene where you take drugs and have like a vision and
The fucking
experience.
drug scene, yeah.
Every fucking Far Cry game, I swear to God,
Yeah.
there's a drug scene. And honestly, they kind of like Ubisoft is kind of just doing that now. Like, it's just like everyone, you have to take drugs at some point in this game.
Ubisoft is kind of weird because they start certain tropes and then like everybody picks up on it. They did like the drug trip thing.
Yeah.
And then they started the towers thing with the original Assassin's Creed.
God, yeah, fucking
and
towers.
then it became like a huge thing across like a bunch of different
And
games,
then, like,
especially their own.
Yeah, and then they cross them over. Like, suddenly you have like in Assassin's Creed, you have like a dive bomb eagle that'll kill people, like in Far Cry. And it's like, what game am I even playing right now? It's like, is this a fucking Far Cry or is this an Assassin's Creed? Like, if someone jumped in on the stream,
It's called Far Creed.
Far Cream, Far Creed, yeah, Far Creed, New Order. It's like if you, there are parts of these games where if you just like showed up onto a stream and like watched somebody for a second, if you didn't see someone in the Assassin's outfit, you wouldn't know what game he's playing. Like, is this a Far Cry or is this an Assassin's Creed?
You know, some of the Assassin's Creed don't start in the outfit.
Jesus.
So you probably wouldn't even know until you saw it, and then you'd be like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's like, wait.
now I know."
Is that digitization on the border of that mountain? Oh, this must be an Assassin's Creed. There's like 3 things that you can tell the difference between.
Yeah, it's not like it's a Kojima game where he tells you like a bunch of times just to make sure you know.
Yeah, he not only mentions that
It's really confusing.
he tells you it's him, and then he also tells you, oh yeah, by the way, this is Death Stranding. But that's, I don't know, it's a fun game, and it's a fun little series to kind of fuck around with. Not little anymore, they're coming out with a lot of them. But easily the game of the year for this year for me, sadly, Calgon Double Peace doesn't count. Doom 2016. Like, what a fucking bitchin' game. Like, everything about it is fucking sweet.
It's a metal,
Well, I mean, we didn't really play the
game.
multiplayer, but everything about the single
If metal
player
was
is
a video
fucking
game
sweet.
genre, it'd be Doom 2016.
Doom 2016 and every Devil May Cry game.
Did you listen to that BFG Division song again?
I will, like, just like I will continue to listen to the I Am Setsuna soundtrack, I will continue to listen to the Doom 2016 soundtrack.
Dude, it's fucking
Doom.
sweet. Oh my god.
And
I've been thinking
there's
about
several
Doom, but I like push it back because I'm like Doom Eternal.
just because they're, you know, I mean, back in the original Doom, like the E1 M1, is that the correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
M1, yeah.
Where it, you know, has Metallica. I've found other songs that it sounds very similar to, like certain tracks.
Yeah.
I brought up the one where there was a certain track. Was the BFG? There was one of the tracks within Doom that sounds a lot like one of the Meshuggah songs. Like, there's a whole riff that's exactly the same.
Yeah. For 16?
Yeah.
Nice. So they're kind of doing the same thing. Dude, that soundtrack is, I think it's the
I
best.
posted it back to the chat like a long time ago, but I'll have to find it again.
I think that's the best video game soundtrack that there ever has been. It's so fucking cool. And the way that the music works within the game, like...
You know, when you start
So,
being a fucking badass,
someone-
then it gets more intense, and you're just like...
There was a
fucking
YouTuber
sweet.
who did this whole production on Mick Gordon and Mick Gordon's games and what Doom 2016 did for music. Such a fucking awesome video to watch on YouTube. I suggest it.
I think I've
100%.
seen that. It's like a mini documentary,
Yes,
right?
yeah. And like it's just like what they did with Doom was like all of the development and music and stuff done for video
Yeah,
games.
dude, it's
all
fucking
came
crazy. He would, like-
together for this one moment to be beautiful, where the gameplay drives the music, where
Yeah.
how
Dude,
he
fast the player
also-
attacks, what weapons they use, the soundtrack fucking matches.
Yeah, they
And it's-
changed it. Like I guess he like made multiple versions of like
Yeah.
different songs of
Yeah,
like how it
yep.
would change, and like the more intense you did, you get like a different piece of
Yeah.
music. Like so, it would legitimately
The
change.
music would
instead-
fucking reward your gameplay.
Yeah.
basically.
And that's why the soundtrack, it sounds very similar to itself. It's because of that. It's
Yeah.
because it's like, this is the higher build version of this song. And it's so fucking cool. Man, and like, if you think the Comic Christ thing and like DMC is cool, this is like way above that. This is way fucking more cool
Yeah,
than that
DMC
shit.
just gets louder when you do well, which is cool, but it's not fucking like
Not to this extent.
multiple tracks
Yeah.
like becoming the thing.
And they're similar in their style. It's like metal, it's like electronic metal almost. Like, it's like a hybrid between the two, which for Doom, it fits 100%. Like, that is what Doom is. Doom is like a futuristic, heavy, fucking gory destruction piece.
But if
So
I
good.
remembered, this week I'll post the exact time stamp in the song or one of the Doom tracks, that, and then post the timestamp in that Meshuggah song, so you can compare the two. It's like almost the same exact fucking riff.
Yeah,
but it's good.
Yeah, that I love that BFG Division song, dude. It's so fucking crazy. And then, like, of course, the main theme one, the E1M1 remake. It's like, and I love it because it plays with those old Doom tracks all the time. Like, he knows exactly how to play with your
Doom
fucking
2016, balls. Mick Gordon, just that fucking the whole thing was just a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm excited
doing
for
those like trial things and getting like bonus stuff from them. Power up your stuff.
Yeah, those were fun. Those were cool.
The different like ways you could use your guns, like the different like paths they could go down.
Yeah, hidden levels.
Oh man,
hidden Doom 1 levels in there.
Yeah,
fucking sweet game.
I love that game so much, and I can't wait for Doom Eternal.
I know. Doom Eternal.
We got like 2
awesome.
months.
I know. Fucking shit. I might have to
gotta slowly jack it until Doom Eternal comes out.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's all of our game of the year for 2016.
Yeah.
Consensus there. 2017, amazing year for games.
Also,
once again. So,
and then here in 2017, we're also going to see the start. I mean, it's not the beginning, but this is really where the trend starts catching on. The battle royale era is now upon us.
Yep.
We see PUBG and Fortnite released this year, and
didn't H1Z1
their success
also come out?
Correct. H1Z1, isn't that just a mod for?
Well, that one also has a battle royale mode
H1Z1.
now.
I don't know if
I
it
think
came the same time.
One of them was a mod that was eventually
to DayZ. There was a DayZ mod.
Yeah, that became PlayerUnknown's
Battlegrounds. Yeah,
yeah.
So that might have been a part of it, but the success of PlayerUnknown's and Fortnite really drove the Battle Royale as a game mode that many games afterwards tried to emulate.
That was
but to varying degrees of success, but never to the same amount that PUBG and Fortnite, especially Fortnite, was able to capture.
Yeah, that was 3
years ago. And the reason why
ago.
Fortnite was able to capture so much fame was they just had such a larger demographic than PUBG was able to reach, and it was free. That's part of why it was able to reach a larger demographic. The graphics of it being a little cartoonish and toned down really appealed to the younger generation, the young kids, and the gameplay appealed to anyone who's into competitive battle royale games. Still, I haven't really given PUBG a chance, even though I have a decent PC that could probably chug along with it.
Yeah, we put our time into Fortnite for sure, though.
I bet only 1% of people who have played Fortnite
10 hours
have played
at
the
most.
actual story mode.
I played like 20 or so hours.
Yeah, and so Fortnite was going to come out with it was going to be a zombie survival story mode.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Yeah, just kidding."
And fuck it. Like, we're making tons of money on the battle royale. Why would we ever fucking develop a part of the game that we ever want to play?
They also got fucking sued for doing that because they
fucking
were supporting the people who made.
They're making so much money.
Yeah, they were supporting
and
the guys.
And then that little
who
lawsuit would be nothing compared
PUBG.
to the money they're bringing in.
Yeah.
And then lawsuit that PUBG brought against them.
Yep, and they did win, but
they made so much money.
Didn't matter.
They make so much money.
They got fucked.
Yeah, but so this is the year, not when it started, but when it really caught on in popularity. We're also going to start seeing.
It did really
so before
start.
this, like a few years before this, we also saw kind of another gaming trend with loot boxes before this year. But one game specifically that came out this year that got called out for it, that EA game, Star Wars Battlefront 2, got called out with its predatory loot box practices.
Because
and loot boxes becoming such a major thing in gaming,
specifically Battlefront 2. Because they were hiding actual weapon and the stuff upgrades in there.
Yeah,
instead of it just being like
So loot boxes was actually starting to become a real thing before this. I forgot to mention that year when it first started becoming more mainstream. Overwatch had loot boxes, but now you see a trend of between should loot boxes only be cosmetic items or should it also include things that can actually manipulate gameplay? And we saw with the huge thing with Star Wars Battlefront 2, people got really fucking mad when gameplay items
people
were
also
hidden
got
behind
really
loot
mad
boxes.
at Shadow of War for doing that same thing
Right.
later in
But
2018.
people with Shadow of War, they were just bandwagoning. Shadow of War isn't that bad at all. I don't think the loot box.
It does have an impact on gameplay.
Not
though.
really, though.
They're not cosmetic items.
Yeah,
Rice.
but if you-
they are
No, but the
actual
thing is
fucking upgrades.
the dudes in the field will be stronger than that. You just need to not be a bitch
well,
and actually
they're
go
the same
play the
level
game.
that you are, but at the same time, you can get like legendary dudes who are stronger than the normal dudes you can get, which does change gameplay, especially since they're the same level that your character is. So if you're maxed out, those things will be better
I
than
can see
everything
both
else
points
around.
of view,
That's
but
not
when you're
true.
attacking someone else's, but see, legendary characters still can't overcome. They still weren't better than a player character.
Yeah,
so as a
that's
player
true.
character, you could still dominate a legendary character easy.
Yeah.
You could.
And you can. I even did the Shadow War, so I beat the game, right? And I used. By the end, the guys that I had in the boxes, like some of them were good, but the best guys that were out there were the guys that took my base. That I lost one base one time, and I got really fucking mad because I was renting this cocksucking game and from Redbox, and I'm like, it's good if you beat it within like 3 days, but if not, then it gets really expensive, and I lost.
Right.
And then you know what I did to win? I turned every one of their generals against them, and we just fucking steamrolled. And those guys were fucking powerful. So I just took them instead. So the loot boxes, yeah, it makes it easier, but it doesn't. You don't have to have them to beat the game.
Right.
Star Wars
yeah.
Battlefront, you have to have them to like get.
Well,
certain
yeah, in
things.
Star Wars Battlefront, it was actually like certain upgrades to weapons and whatnot that actually did affect gameplay in a serious
Yeah.
way, which sparked this debate
The
about
thing is,
loot boxes being in games.
I honestly
and
feel
it started a
bad
trend.
I feel bad for DICE about that whole thing.
Yeah, DICE was kinda
because
caught
it
in the
was
crossfire
Disney's
with that.
fault.
It was EA's and Disney's fault, yeah.
Not EA's, Disney's.
Well,
100%. Because
here's-
here's the thing. Disney has this thing where they're super anal retentive about every character and thing that they own, and so they do not allow for creativity at all. They decide what can and cannot be in the game at any time.
Yeah.
And if they try to go outside of that, Disney will shut them the fuck down. And that is bullshit, and I hate it. It's also part of the problem with Fallen Order, and I will talk about that when we get to that review, but it's bullshit. And
Yeah.
I fucking hate Disney
Okay,
for
so
doing that shit.
here's-
And they had to like resort to other items being in their loot boxes because they couldn't create their own cosmetic stuff to be in them. And they had to have loot boxes because EA forced it.
EA forced it. And then also sort of the trend of when EA got called out for the fucking practices with Star Wars Battlefront 2, they started this trend of when a game was released, it wouldn't have loot boxes, but they would add it back later through an update.
Yeah.
And so a game would release, great reviews, people love it. Oh, now there's fucking loot boxes.
yeah.
And
so
this is, I feel like this begs its own episode. This needs its own episode about loot boxes versus DLCs not being a thing that people pay for anymore with games being more of a live service. When you buy the game, you get everything that they update it with. And how do game companies, when development costs more money these days, how do they make that money back and still be profitable?
Yeah, see-
and it's through people who are willing to pay for more content outside of now DLCs. How do you get money from them? And then loot boxes are a thing with that.
So
Or,
here's what I
cosmetics.
I would like Star Wars Battlefront 2 if you got loot boxes that had in-game items, but you unlocked them in-game. That would be fine. So, like, if it was like you got a random set of like new upgrades that you could use because you leveled up, then yeah, that's fine. But the problem with it is that you can buy, you
The
pay
problem-
to win, and you get a bunch of loot boxes.
Even with that, someone who doesn't purchase loot boxes won't have an option to upgrade to that item. Or are you saying
No,
that
I'm saying, like,
you
don't-
immediately get access to something that you can grind for later?
I'm saying I like the idea of having things tied to boxes, to random things, because then you have to work to unlock it at a random pace, but it's not... I don't like the idea of like Rocket League where it's like, hey, look, you got this, and I'm like, oh, cool, let's go look at it. It's like, oh, do you want to buy it? I'm like, You just told me I got it. And they're like, no,
So,
you got the right to buy it. I'm like, oh, well, thank you, Rocket League. I don't
No.
fucking think so.
Let's look at that again. So let's say
If it's in-game, like an in-game unlockable that is randomized by a loot box.
okay,
that I
so
like.
it's an in-game unlockable. So you're saying they pay money, and it cuts down the grind of having to get to that spot.
No, I'm saying in-game. They like old games used to have loot boxes of sorts that were just random. Like random, you know what I'm talking about, Craig? Like it's like a loot box, but you don't buy it. You just earn random upgrades. It's like,
So the whole point of loot boxes is
Well-
people needing to purchase it.
yeah, you don't have to purchase.
So
it, is
what
thing.
you're the example you're bringing in, you still purchase this loot box and you get an upgrade, but a normal player who didn't purchase it could still grind to it anyways. So in
Yeah.
that sense, if you're paying money to skip the grind, which is something that MMOs do
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah, and I don't hate loot boxes, but I also don't.
I don't
like
hate cosmetic loot boxes.
I don't
but it'd
buy
be
them
stupid to be
either.
to play a game where people can be a good percentage more effective than you are just because they threw more money at the game.
Yeah, that's dumb.
That's stupid. Like no one's going to want to play that game because it's just a money game.
But I
now.
mean, at the
It's
same
just-
time, you could say, well, what about people with gaming monitors or people with like, upgrades like that where
Yeah.
they get a faster frame rate? Is that the same?
but that's something that's like kind of contained in the
faster
PC
frame rate,
world.
I don't
where
really care about. It's the bullshit things like in
some people argue that you
on
can't
PC,
perceive a
when
faster
you-
frame
when
rate
you-
anyway, which is bullshit. Because I
that's
have
not true,
I have
yeah.
a good monitor
When
and it's
you-
fucking noticeable, even with PlayStation games.
like
Yeah.
those players who play Battlefield and they like turn down the graphics so they don't see the foliage.
Yeah.
So people can't hide. That shit is bullshit.
But that's really the developer's fault for making it so lower graphic settings get rid of some of the textures. Like, why would you fucking do that?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Just on them.
Just like, oh, you can't run it? Well, sorry, you can't play it. That's what Doom 3 did.
But it's
like,
when people
sorry, no
when
one can
people
play this.
mod the texture packs or the texture files directly in the game folders where you get rid of stuff completely. I don't know how people would detect that as cheating, but that's technically cheating to get rid of cover like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Loot boxes are a cool idea, and I don't dislike them, but
I
I'm
do
also not someone.
dislike loot boxes.
I don't like people using them to get an advantage. I
And
think it's
then
unfair.
let's look
and that's
at,
why I don't. That's why I'll never play Neverwinter. I will not play Neverwinter because that's what that is.
Has a huge grind that makes it more people will more likely pay for the stuff rather than
and if it's such a
grinding for it.
high grind, I just won't play it. Like
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of my trend so far. I've noticed when a game turns out to be a grind fest, I stop playing it.
except
Except for Conan.
except for Coney. Yeah, there's something
Because
about
Conan,
it.
there's like an instant
'Cause you
reward
love
for
the
it.
Conan.
Because in Conan, you can go grind a little bit and then build something immediately. It's not like where in Neverwinter you're spending hours and hours and hours doing missions for some fucking crystals that go buy something.
Yeah.
Whereas in Conan, you are spending hours pulling the material out of the earth to then find a level 4 blacksmith to then build the armor that you want. And whereas it's like grind where you are a part of every process.
Yeah.
You're building something, refining something.
Yeah.
And everyone's doing the same thing in the game. Whereas in Neverwinter, you were just trying to get money to buy something.
You're just the asshole.
Which just really just
Yeah.
makes it like I don't know. It's just a disconnect between the grind and the object that you.
Yeah,
want.
with
Whereas in
Conan,
Conan, it's very
everyone
visceral.
grinds, yeah.
It's very visceral where you are
That's
a part
true.
of every step of that grind process. And I will argue that the grind in Conan is still less than if you were to grind in Neverwinter for items without paying for it,
Yeah, and that's not fair.
which is ridiculous.
Yeah, how ridiculous would it be if you just got into Conan and you could swipe your card and get like fucking all the shit? It's like, well, what's the point of playing the
Yeah,
game
it would be
now?
it would be similar to like you swipe your card and now you have enough in-game credits to go buy the fucking Scourgekin armor that you were trying to grind Star Metal for.
Yeah. It's like that's
Yeah.
just stupid. It,
Yeah.
it takes away
Same
the satisfaction.
fucking idea.
And like Neverwinter, I think they put together so that you notice that and you pay money to get your character up.
I did spend money on Neverwinter.
It's like
I spent money on Neverwinter, and I did do a lot of grinding. It wasn't just I didn't kit myself out just off of my own money.
Yeah.
But it was Craig, Branny, and everyone else is already in late game stuff they wanted to play. So I'm like, shit. Well, I still need this so I gear level so I can get to them. I need this and this and that. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll just skip the grind so I can start playing late level game stuff with them. So I did. And guess fucking what? Who didn't want to play the fucking game anymore?
yeah, I hear conflicting tales about this. about this chain of events. I don't know what to believe.
So what are the conflicting?
I think it's that you were just being a little bitch and didn't want to play it anymore.
No,
but I don't know. What was it, Greg?
No, so what it was I got to late level stuff. Brandy and Caleb didn't want to play anymore, so they stopped playing. So I'm like, fuck it, all right. And then months and months go by. Brandy was like, I'm getting into fucking Neverwinter again. I'm like, well, fuck you. I'm not going to play it anymore. It's been months, and all the stuff that I grinded for probably isn't good enough anymore. So I'm done fucking playing for the game.
Nah, see what it was is B-Boy and I were playing it for a good while. And then we kept telling Cam to join us in it. And he joined us super late. We were already level 70, so we waited for him to grind out to level 70. And so we weren't playing as much while he fucking, was grinding to it to join us. So we were getting kind of burned out. But we still did a bunch of level 70 quests. We made our own guild. We played for a good solid 2 months after Cam hit 70. And then we were just like, we just don't feel like playing it as much anymore.
And we're about to actually do late game stuff, like work on our castle. That's not game stuff. That's just building up your fucking guild. That's like chores you do when you log in.
I did
stuff.
So much for that guild.
It's just fucking chores you do when you log in to get your guild built
that was
up.
my castle.
But then there was an actual whole separate fucking late game part of the game about get the desert doing dragon stuff and shit like that. I was like ready to start it.
It was just quests. It was just endless quests.
That is what I remember hearing, is that they came back and that you were just being a bitch.
But then it's like months afterwards. Oh, let's play Neverwinter again. I'm like, no, because I'm going to get fucking into the game again, and you guys are going to get burned out after I have re-ground up to the
I think the new level
gear level
80.
that I needed to be.
This happened with Caleb and I with ESO, Elder Scrolls Online. Me, Christian, and like one other person were hitting that like fucking tanks. Like it was all I did every day.
I could only play on the weekends. They were playing it every day, and I was like, guys, let's play.
And we kept bringing them.
And they were like fucking 50 levels above me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
and
it
was just because like the way they did the dungeons, they had level locks on the dungeons, and we were like doing the dungeons. Yeah, you can have. We were doing the dungeons, right? Panini bread as a snack.
Yeah, I mean, I need something in my stomach now.
Yeah, soak up that booze. We were like, Craig, you need to get up to level 10 to do this dungeon. Craig finally gets up to 10. We do the dungeon. And then we're already like level 27. And so it was us being like 20 levels ahead of Craig. And then also the game was underdeveloped. Like we got to a part of the game where it was actually not developed, really. Like it was just a snowy area with like really, really, really super high level skeletons.
This was like right when it came out, so there just wasn't enough content yet for some reason.
So when Craig was trying to catch up to us, we just stopped playing the game because it was like there's nothing left of this game. It's all way too high of a level for us to deal with. Like it's way high, and we only played with Craig a few times because we were burning through it so fast.
We did like 2 dungeons, and that was it.
Yeah, we were burning through it so fast that Craig couldn't keep up. And it's one of those MMOs where most of them do this, where if you're underleveled by a certain amount, you'll do 10% of your damage to the enemy, and you'll take 10% more damage. So Craig was getting fucked in some of these. Like even the ones that he qualified to be in. Oh no, I think you could come in with us no matter what. If I remember right, you might have been able to.
Yeah, I just had to like hang back.
It kind of reminds me about
you couldn't do shit.
But I was an archer, so I was just shooting him from like super far away.
But you were doing nothing.
And
thing.
I could do some damage to him, but it was like half of what I should be able to.
Yeah, and so Craig he just stopped playing, and we stopped playing too. At least I did. It was like it was like $25 a month. I'm like, fuck. And I paid $60 for the fucking game.
No, I don't think
you had to pay a subscription.
I don't think you
to
paid
play
for that one.
You don't anymore, but you did. Oh, you did in the beginning. It was $25, or it was either $25 or $20.
Yeah, World of Warcraft and other games like that would charge your monthly subscription.
Yeah, 14 still does.
Maybe.
And WoW does after a certain level.
You know what? You're right. I do remember that.
It was the most expensive MMO at that time, and I was like,
because you had
there's
to pay
no content
like a
here.
shitload for the game. There's like nothing to do in it, and then there was like a $20.
No, but that kind of
fee.
reminds me of Warframe. Brandy he's still super into it.
Yeah.
So it's not about different levels because Brandy's going to play it regardless.
They do updates for like every
No, but
month.
one thing about that game is the grind was stupid. You can pay a lot of money to skip some of the grind if you wanted to. But even though I only got partway through the story, I just got sick of the grind. Just because it just rotates between three
of
different
those
enemy
story
types.
missions are
They would just
fucking
rotate
stupid.
between three different kinds of enemies you would
Yeah.
fight. Even though it was all part of the story, every engagement, the gameplay part of the fucking game was the exact same.
You know,
It was.
Dwayne
And I got bored of that.
Dwayne got really into that, and I think there are missions where your character does it by himself, right?
No.
Or is it one where you do the missions over and over and over? Because I remember he was doing one mission over
There's some
and over.
missions where you can repeat them over and over to grind for certain things. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like there's like relics that you can spend where you would have to select an item that you want to have drop,
Yeah.
and
I think-
it would give you a chance of
Okay,
dropping
okay.
that item if you like repeated the mission.
So Dwayne did that a lot, and I didn't care for that. Any game that you have to repeat the same thing over and over, I don't want to play.
Exactly.
Or any game where it's like Neverwinter or a BDO.
Even though
where-
Destiny was a fun game, it's on that fucking shit too. Doing the same fucking little missions on planets over and over again.
Yeah.
Just to get something to fucking drop.
Just give
I
us
hate
more
it.
content. So that, like I don't mind having to grind for 40 hours to beat a game. But what I mind doing is finding a mission that gives me more XP per minute than any of the later missions, and just having to do that one over and over and over again because I mathematically figured out that that's the best bang for my buck. Because you programmed the game shittily, gave me a ton of missions, but I don't. Why do the new ones? Because they give you less XP, and you have to get these certain levels to
only
beat
that-
the fucking game.
But where they make fucking games where like a certain like rare thing will drop, but you have to spend 40 hours doing the same thing over and over
Yeah.
and over to get it to drop. That's what I'm fucking done.
Any game where that's the case, or it's the case where the game plays itself, I have no interest. Final Fantasy XII is different because you set it up to do certain things by itself, and I take with that game you can actually make the game play itself to a large degree, but you set it up. You set up like the parameters for certain actions to take place. And I usually take a lot. I take the driver's seat in that game a lot, and I keep a lot of things in my control so that it's still a game.
Yeah.
But games like fucking Brave
But Joe just
Exvius,
lets it play itself.
he did, yeah, for like 3 days straight. Just fucking PS2 sitting in my living room, just running for days. Brave Exvius, where you can just have the
yeah,
game
you can
play
just
itself.
turn auto battle on.
I don't find that compelling at all. I think that's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, that is a mobile game, and it's stupid.
That exists in BDO.
And it's also pay to win.
Like with Cody and his riding, letting his horse ride forever, or like these old games. I can't remember what they were. Where like my buddies would like, I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? They're just shooting targets. I'm like, oh, I'm leveling up my archer. I'm like, oh, so you don't have to play? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, why are you playing this game? Why are you playing quote unquote this game if this is how you have to get good at the game?
I mean,
like
technically, you could do the same thing in like Oblivion.
yeah, I guess.
Because it's literally just based on your actions, so you could just like have something push A so you could jump the whole time to level up your acrobatics, and you could also do the same thing with arrows.
That's true. You can, but you don't have to be competitive in the game.
Well, I mean, it's a single player, so no,
Yeah.
you don't.
I love Oblivion too because like jumping. Oh man, seeing a flight of stairs and jumping up the flight of stairs, it's like so ridiculous. You're like, or like,
You
or
get like a fucking 30-second airtime.
yeah, or whenever you're talking to someone and like I just jump over them and I do like 2 circles around their body before I land again. And like I'm trying to have a conversation with me, and I'm like,
God, that's that's the thing that I miss about Oblivion that I wish was in Skyrim. It's just shit
the
like that.
stupid fucking jump ability, or like
Just
running
janky
backwards.
Well, I like that you can level up certain things like the acrobatics in fucking
And then if you
Oblivion.
could just
Oblivion
change
has a better leveling
then if you
system.
just
Yeah.
change the perspective on stuff, things that should be way out of your reach are now in your reach.
If you think it
Yeah.
kind of, if it looks kind of like you can grab it, you could totally grab it. That game, the Wolfenstein Return to Castle Wolfenstein is the same way. There'll be like signs hanging from buildings that are like 10 feet up, but if you can kind of put your cursor on it and it looks like in like some weird way you can reach it, you can kick and you'll shatter it. And it's like we're talking like 8 feet high, a fucking kick just. If it kind of looks like maybe there's a chance that the graphics are fucked up and you can touch it, you can fucking touch it. And COD does
manipulate
that.
reality. It's
COD does
great.
that too sometimes because you'll have a gun against a wall and you can't move any more forward because you're against a wall, but the reticle will still be huge. You'll pull the trigger and it won't hit right where the barrel's touching the wall. It'll hit like up to the left, and like to the right, and it's like, how does this happen? How does this fucking work?
And if you really look at it, it just makes you look like you're holding a really
I think it's because the bullets don't come from the gun.
No, they don't.
I think they come from you.
your visor, yeah.
Yeah, that is so fucking weird.
I
That's
mean,
exactly
you can
what
look
happens.
At different
though.
games will, especially if it's ray or projectile type stuff, they'll decide. Like in CS:GO, it's not out of the barrel of the gun that the bullet comes from; it's out of the side of the gun and stuff like that. Where the side of the gun is what shoots it.
I think
other
that-
games it's where it's out of your eyes, but there is one game that does shoot it out of the barrel.
I think the new COD does it out of the barrel too, at least for the laser sights, because those are very effective in the new one. That has to be the barrel. Doom, I think, does it out of the barrel too, but that's also classic Doom controls. I mean, it's straight. You are the barrel, so it's like it's the same as coming out of you.
And I love playing Doom with like the old school mode on, so
Yeah,
it's like
it's
directly
sweet.
down the middle the whole time.
Yeah, I love how awesome that fucking no reloading, like no bullshit. There's no bullshit in that game. That's the beauty of
I
Doom.
can't wait.
It's like reloading is for
Eternal.
fucking losers.
All right, let's talk about 2017.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about
We
other
skipped
stuff.
Cuphead. No, but this is 2017.
This is 17. We didn't even get into 2017. We started talking about PUBG, and then we went down a fucking
Yeah, we talked about
20-minute
Fortnite, PUBG.
hole.
Yeah, that's that
Yeah,
whole thing.
Battle Royale
Okay.
loot boxes.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, Resident
Very
7,
early.
fucking great game.
That's top 3
I actually
Resident Evil.
bought that one when it came out, which is weird for me, and I really like that game a lot.
When I saw that trailer at E3, I was like, oh my god, what is this game? And then it dropped Resident Evil, and I was like, oh, fuck. This is going
it
to be
was
so fucking
Resident
cool.
Evil 7 Biohazard.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. What could this be? And then it was a reboot, and I was like, oh, it looks so good compared to the bullshit that we've had to deal with for the last, 8 years. And it was fucking fantastic. The extra game modes, super fun. Their version of Mercenaries, a lot of fun. It's so corny, but it's great. You're collecting food throughout the house to feed the dad.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
It's like a reverse version of Mercenaries. The food is what you need, and the kills just give you more time for the food, as opposed to collecting more time to get more kills. It's like flipped on its head, but it's really fun. That's a great game. Cuphead 2017.
Yeah.
That's a pretty important game. I think that started a trend too. It's not a very widespread trend, but it's
Indie games / games being a more difficult game being their selling point.
that. And
I think that actually came more from the Dark Souls series because people started getting more into that idea that the harder games are, the more fun they would be.
I would say the thing that
Which is weird,
Cuphead
but
that makes Cuphead influential is the art style.
Yeah,
because
and
there have
so
been
Cuphead
numerous games that have
brought
done similar.
difficulty and art style and making a very unique game.
its soundtrack is also pretty good
Yeah,
and is influenced by the same time period.
One of these days we might actually review it, but you never know. But you know what I mean? There's a bunch of games that have come out since then that are they
Right.
have that classic feel, 50s cartoony, or just
I've seen
old
a lot
school.
of 80s influenced indie games lately.
Yeah, that too. It's it's setting
That,
I think it set a trend for decades of
the 80s with their fucking retro / synth wave style coming to the forefront.
Yeah.
yeah. We had Breath of the Wild. Craig's the only one that played that, but
Yeah, and I still have it available for you guys to borrow.
oh, so you still have Dylan's? Oh, you have your own. Never mind.
I bought my own.
Did we figure out if he has his copy?
I don't know. He never said anything.
Because I don't, and you don't, which means he better. Because I've never held that game before, so it's not here. So don't be pushing that on me. The other day, Craig was like, "Oh, well, I brought it over to your house, dude." I'm like, "No."
Well, I
He
brought
loaned it
over,
to you.
Don't put this evil on
I
me,
brought
Ricky Bobby.
Mario back, but
It's like he didn't loan it to me. Don't put that evil on me.
Well, I mean, I don't have it, so
Craigie Bobby.
and I bought my own.
Yeah, I don't either. I want to play it, but it would be fun to review. But I mean, it's been so long for you. You'd have to redo it.
It's
probably
been about a year.
another one. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, came out this year. We all played that one, right? Or
I
you?
did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all did.
Wolfenstein 2, yeah, we did that one.
It's weird because the
Um,
name is I don't know.
Destiny 2, Cam and I played that.
Yeah,
That one's a good one. I like Destiny 2. I still like Taken King version of Destiny 1 more, but I like Destiny 2.
yeah. We had
There's some cool features that they added later on for Destiny 2.
we had a game that two of us really liked in this podcast here, and two of us didn't at the time. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, that
What a unique game, gameplay wise.
What a wonderful idea.
unique game,
Unique game.
gameplay wise.
As far as the combat goes, it is in its own way. The gameplay,
What a wonderful, beautiful game.
yeah, with King's Peak,
I would not say it's a beautiful game at all.
it looked pretty good when it came out.
I don't know. Those character models are pretty bad.
Yeah, they can be. I just loved taking weapons off of monsters and fucking them with it. It was so cool. Such a sweet mechanic.
Yeah.
Finding sweet spots, finding certain ammo types that worked against different dudes.
Fractured Butthole came out this year too.
Yeah. Better game than the first one, definitely. Way less, not as funny, but still hilarious. I say way less funny, but I listened to the review like 4 or 5 months ago, and it's still pretty fucking funny from what we brought up.
The old Shub Niggeroth.
Yeah, Shub. Fucking so ridiculously bad.
Yeah. Hellblade came out this year too.
Yeah. Oh,
and
man.
Hellblade was you're in my game of the year that year.
Yeah. What a great game. I mean,
Fucking amazing game.
fantastic concept.
I'm honestly a little surprised they're bringing a sequel to it.
Yeah.
Kind of doesn't seem like it needed one, or
No.
left it open enough for one. So that's kind of weird, but
I mean, she's
we'll
not
see how that
dead,
goes.
so I guess.
Yeah, but she has no. There's no.
What's the drive?
Yeah, what's the drive? I guess would be the thing.
I don't know. I
Because she
think-
kind of took revenge.
Yeah, I think Microsoft is just flexing the fact that they bought those guys, and now they're going to come out
but
with a
they
game.
could have just come out with like another IP. But anyway, okay. Shadow of War came out that year.
Yeah,
we all
fun.
played that one.
Nier Automata.
Yeah, Nier Automata. That was a fucking great game.
Yeah, that was the runner-up for Game of
That
the Year.
one
I
still
think
makes me
Cameron-
want to fucking replay the Nier that I have on PS3.
Cameron,
So-
that was your Game of the Year, wasn't it?
I think so.
I think it was.
I quite enjoyed it.
It's really good. It's way better than it has any right to be. Honestly, like it seems like it's going to be cheesy anime.
The environments and stuff are kind of empty, but
It kinda looks like
makes-
shit a little
it makes
sometimes, too.
It makes full use of that, and it doesn't feel repetitive.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's really a game where, the gameplay is great, but the story really pulls through.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
story is great. Become as gods.
That's right. It's really deep and really sad. Honestly, what happens to those robots? They become
Yeah.
they're
God, do you remember that
basically
part
humans.
where you start playing as the fucking little robot that has to like carry the oil to its like dead buddy?
Yeah, I think that's the very beginning of the game, isn't it?
No, I think it's like
No,
halfway
it's when
through.
you first. I think it's when you finish the first playthrough.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right. That was that I remember watching Joe fail at that because like he played it on easy, and then he's like, "Hey, the bucket kept fucking him over," and I was like, I got fucked over too. There's some things difficulty can't fix. For everything else, there's Mastercard. But yeah, that's a fantastic game. One of my buddies at work just barely got that, and I was like, "Oh, you need to play that. Like, you need to play Nier.
Nier.
It's good.
That was a huge surprise from that year. Injustice 2 came out that year. That's
Yeah, I
a
have
pretty
that.
good fighting game. They have the Ninja Turtles in that one and Hellboy, which is fucking awesome. I love those guest characters. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came out that year, so this is a pretty big year for fighting games.
Yeah, well, and then For Honor as well.
For Honor. That one was a fucking great game. I enjoyed that a lot.
I wish I
It's
would have
really-
played it with you guys.
It's too bad that the fucking servers were really shitty in the beginning, but
Yeah.
Schweiss, you have that game, so we can play it.
I can't get past the tutorial. I don't know how to do one of the things it's asking me to do. It seems like a game that I would be really into, though. Like it really does. Like where it's like so anal.
I do think you'd like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's like if Cameron. gets-
There's a time where I got super fucking good at a certain character, but now every
Yeah,
time
he was
I
really
try
good
to
with Valkyrie, and he had like this one move that he'd always pull out. It was like a poisoning move or something.
No, it was a bleed move.
a bleed move. Right?
Yeah, but now I'm trying to get back into it to that same level. And it's just like you really got to put in time to learn the moves.
I gotta get back into it so I can be good with my warden again, because I was so good at that like fucking perfect parry move Oh man, I fucking love the Warden.
And of course, I always have to pick a character that's like a little hard to learn how to play effectively. Jesus, why do I always do that? It's like every game I play, when there's multiple characters to choose, I always pick the one where it's just like,
Well, it's because there's always like one move that you really like from that character, so you're like, I must become the master of this move.
right. And then when you get to when you're good at it and you can interweave it in your gameplay, you do awesome. But it's just like I have to practice against Craig over and over and over again before I can even reliably pull the move off.
Yeah, that seems like a game I'd really like. I just need to put more time into it. Or any time.
I don't know,
really.
man. It's a game where the grind, instead of grinding for items, you're grinding for the skill needed to play the fucking game.
Well, that's what Schweiss loves. He loves becoming the beast.
Yeah.
But some of the game modes are pretty fun, especially when it's the 3v3.
Yeah, they got 1v1 fights in there, 2v2s. They got the regular battles.
Yeah.
It's I really like For Honor.
Nice.
Yakuza 0 came out that year. Another game that I really love because I'm really into that series now. NBA Playgrounds came out that year too.
Yeah.
You and I played the fuck out of that.
That was pretty fun. That was a good time.
That was a fun game.
There's so many fun, like, retarded things that we would do in that fucking game.
Yeah.
Like, I love my half-court three-pointers with Shaq with, like, the insta...
fucking.
The shot always goes in.
That was some
move.
bullshit, man. You should never have been able to make any 3-pointers with Shaq.
Yeah.
And then you fucking started that fucking like it was the 3-point shot tournament thing, and I picked Shaq not knowing what game mode you fucking chose.
Yeah, so you couldn't do anything.
I couldn't do anything, and you were over there with like fucking Curry or whatever, fucking getting every 3-pointer.
Yeah. Yeah, that game's pretty fun. It's fucking broken, but
Yeah, it kind of brings back like the whole NBA Jam Sonic days.
That's what
yeah,
it was.
it had that vibe.
yeah.
A lesser version.
Yeah, it's fun though. I really like that style of sport game.
Yeah,
The arcade
Sega
stuff.
days. I mean Sonic and Sega, but yeah, back in the Sega Genesis days, NBA Jam.
yeah.
Dude, NBA Jam on Fire Edition is the greatest basketball game. of
Doing
all
like
time.
2 front flips with John Stockton before you stuff it home. It's like
Yeah.
so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fucking love the Stockton.
Yeah.
Let's see what else came out. The Surge.
Did it come out in 2017?
It did.
Did it really?
Man,
Yeah.
it seems so long ago for some
The
of these
Surge
games,
2
right?
came out this year or last year.
I still need to play the Surge 2.
It's like,
but
God, time is
I
just-
don't know what it is. Can you tell me what it is about the Surge that makes me love it so much?
I think it's the fact that it's a lot like the Souls games that you love, but also at the same time, like it lets you target different body parts, and also because of the weapon choices.
Is it really?
like-
Is it really just about the difficulty of gameplay versus being able
well, I mean,
to
it's easier than
being
the other
able to
ones.
farm/build yourself up in a way, like collect items? I think it's like the collectible items / building your
It's
character
really
in a certain
easy
way
to
that
collect the
really
items.
speaks to me.
Yeah, I mean, the gameplay is also really interesting because like
I fucking love
there's
the
a
Surge,
bunch
dude.
of different weapon types, and then of course being able to target different body parts, like that changes the gameplay a lot. Too,
I mean, yeah,
'cause, like,
so you can
in
approach
the middle
each
of a
situation
combo,
a little
you
bit
can
more
like
tactically. Yeah.
yeah, you can in the middle of a combo.
Do you
can,
need
like,
to farm
fucking
that
switch to
armor?
a different body part?
Do you need to farm the
or-
armor parts, or do you really just need to get through engagement
Dude,
really
I fucking
fast?
fought that one astronaut
You
dude
could be
so many
super
goddamn
fast.
times
Oh,
to take
it's
his
just
fucking
the,
armor.
The level of customability with the different frames you could pick and how you wanted to stack up items within it. Like, do you want more health? Do you want more damage? Like, just the different things that you could do in that game. Just you can really customize a playthrough to yourself. And there's something about that game that just fucking got me.
Yeah, I still need to play it. I haven't even started.
I had quite enjoyed that game.
It's a good one. Tekken 7, another fighting game. Fucking great one. I enjoy Tekken 7 a lot. It's story mode, like that last mission where you have to play against Akuma from Street Fighter was really, really hard. I want you guys to understand that. The guy was a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. ARMS came out for the Switch, which is another fighting game that's kind of interesting. Like your characters have like spring-loaded arms, basically, so you could like control it with the Joy-Cons, like the motion controllers. Like you remember the boxing in Wii Sports?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but like your arms like go way out there. and then you could do like different special attacks and like throws and things. It's a pretty fun one. Dragon Quest XI, that one is a huge game. Fucking love it. It's really good. That one, it's one of the best RPGs I've ever played. It's fucking good. And then Assassin's Creed Origins, that's another good one. That's probably my second favorite Assassin's Creed.
Wow, that's pretty. It's quite the statement. That's a good series.
It is, yeah. It's below Assassin's Creed 2, but it's fucking good. I love the character of Bayek a lot. He is a good one. And they also made that one a little more like an action RPG. And then they had a fucking crossover with Final Fantasy 15. God, that was so dumb. I did it too. I fucking did the whole puzzle thing. I fucking found the tomb. It released Arden, and for some reason Noctis came out of nowhere, fucking fought him for a bit, and dropped his Ultima weapon. And then I was able to use it.
Yeah, that'd be funny if like you didn't have Ultima Weapon anymore in your 15 file.
Yeah, my
Like,
15 file is just fucking gone. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh yeah, Bayek's got it.
Yeah. You have to like find a way to give it back before the event ends, or you just never have it in 15.
Bayek just like buries it, and it like becomes the fucking town of Insomnia. later on.
Another big game, Persona 5 came out this year.
God damn it.
Was it?
Well, I thought that was
that was
previous. I
2016.
thought it was 2016 that came out.
Maybe it came to the consoles. I have a big list of things.
It's a console only game.
Well,
It's a Persona 5 is a
2017. Did we go to 2018?
No, we're
No.
doing.
we did 2016 and we're like near the end of 2017.
Okay. So yeah, 2016. I'm pretty sure is when Persona 5.
Yeah,
came out.
September 15th. So it is this year.
Or
Well,
2016.
that was the.
yeah,
I mean-
that was also a good game.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Fucking
sure.
really long ass one. I'm so glad that I told you about the Reaper thing. Otherwise, it would have been a lot longer before Game was able to beat the game.
I seriously still think I've lost 2 to 3 years of my life from playing that game.
Yeah.
Just from the sheer amount of monster that you drank.
I had to. Like, I took off time off of work,
Yeah, but
and I played for.
You realize we had like 6 months for that game.
I played for. Well, I'd play it here and there for 6 months, but then there's still like a third of the game left, and that weekend it had to be reviewed, and so I took off time
Did you not
from work.
explore like Mementos like at all?
No, I did a little bit.
Okay.
And like when it
'Cause if you
came
hadn't,
time to
that would have
Mementos,
really fucked you.
when it came time for like doing the Mementos, I already explored it a good chunk, and I feel like that's why I was behind on some of the other parts of the game, was because I did spend a lot of time down in
Fucking
Mementos.
100 floor dungeon that you just ignore.
FF12 Zodiac Age came out this year.
Yeah, Zodiac Age is a good one.
That's a
but
good
I mean,
one.
It was a remaster.
Yeah,
I don't really count those.
I'm trying to decide. I want to play 12 again this year. I'm trying to decide if I should play that one or the OG.
I kind of want to play it on Switch because, like, apparently the Switch and Xbox versions have like additional features that still haven't come to the PS4 version. As far as I know,
I want to play the original version on PS4.
and I think they have a new game plus.
I don't know what the purpose of that would be, but
I don't know either.
like, what you're gonna go through for the story? Like, I don't know. It's you can spam
but
the
it
game
would
speed.
it would be a lot easier for me if that was the case. Like maybe it only lets you keep the items because I have that one. The Seitengrat,
Yeah,
the fucking bullshit crossbow.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That takes a lot to get. It's like a
it
weird.
is like 25,000 damage every hit.
Yeah,
it's
it's
fucking
pretty crazy.
and it crits a lot.
I kind of want to play the original game, though. That's the thing. Like, I wish they had the original version of the battle system, of the job system.
That would be
in there.
really cool, and I wish they did have that too. Because
Yeah.
doing ×4 speed and grinding out everything,
Yeah, that'd be fast.
That would be nice.
That's a fun one. I don't know of anything. I don't see anything else from 2016 that really stands out.
I mean, for 2017,
Or yeah, 17. Sorry.
Neo came out in that year, and I know I'm the only one who played it, but I really like that one too. I think you guys should play it since you guys got it for Plus, and I know how much you guys like the Seki Soulsborne games.
Yeah, Elden Seki Soulsborne. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, you guys got anything else for 17?
No.
No.
What do you guys think your game of the year is?
For 17, probably Dragon Quest 11.
Okay. What do we give for 16? Oh, never mind. It was Doom. Was 17 had Senua, right?
Yeah, it had Hellblade.
I think I'll give it to...
I didn't play Dragon Quest 11 when it came out that year. I ended up playing it like 2018 tail end and then hating it in 19. But
I think I'll still give it to Senua.
it would be Senua. I would have as a close second because that was a really good game.
I don't
Yeah.
remember what
It's a good
we
experience.
named Game of the Year this year.
I think you gave it to Nier Automata.
Yeah, I think you
it was
did
definitely
too.
Nier. Yeah, I'm just looking through the games again. Yeah, there's no game that comes close. I mean, I guess if I played Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, I probably would have given to that. But of the games I have played,
If
it's
you played
definitely Nier.
Yakuza 0.
The Nier is just such a deep story. It's really crazy.
Yeah, Nier is really good. It's a really good game.
I think
Alright,
my
so,
only contender would have been Horizon Zero Dawn, but it doesn't compare to Nier.
Yeah.
So 2018, Assassin's Creed Odyssey
2018.
came out.
Another year. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Another fucking good game year.
Yeah, you guys had a lot. There's a lot of stuff this year. Yeah, it's...
We had one of the best games I've ever played and one of the fucking biggest disappointments this year.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm the only one who played that one, but it's a good one. It's kind of weird that came out only a year after Origins, especially since it's like way bigger game than Origins was as far as like content wise. They also gave it like a couple DLCs. I like that one a lot too.
Yeah.
I like the story a little more in Origins, and Bayek's a way better character because in Assassin's Creed Odyssey you get to like pick whether you're the dude or the chick, and they're brother and sister in the game, and like whoever you pick, like it changes the story around whoever's the other one. But it kind of the one thing I didn't really like about that game is like it felt like you were meant to play as the chick character, but it let you choose instead, and it was like it felt weird.
So when playing the dude,
But there's a lot of fun
what would
gay
happen,
jokes you
though?
could do as a dude.
What would
So,
happen as the chick? I mean, as the dude that made it feel like it was off.
It's just a lot of like the storylines and stuff made it like the way that it played out made it feel like you were meant to play as the chick. The side quest stuff, it didn't really matter, but like the main story quests, just some of that and the dialogue kind of felt like it was not meant for your character.
Great game that came out this year. You guys played Monster Hunter World. You guys
We
put
did.
a lot of
So
time
I
into
was
that.
I was going to start off actually with my biggest disappointment this year. Before I get into the games I enjoyed, biggest disappointment by far this year was Fallout 76.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Red Dead 2. I was like, man, fuck
No,
you.
no.
It's not that bad. It's
Red
pretty
Dead
good.
2 is my third most played game
Okay.
of last year.
Of last year?
Yeah, of hours put into a game.
Yeah, see,
Last
that's-
year? 2019?
Yeah, 2019.
2019, yeah, or around.
Oh, we played it all in 2020 or 2018, Craig and I. So all of our Red Dead
no,
time was
I think because didn't we review Red Dead like near the beginning of last year?
Yeah, but Schweiss and I technically beat it still.
Yeah,
And-
so I put tons of time into that game because I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Again, it's about collectibles. For me in Red Dead 2, guess what it was?
Yeah.
Horses. Collecting the fucking horses.
Or the guns, the mods.
The guns too, and the gun mods, but there's something to me about getting like the fastest horse, the most sturdy horse, and stuff like that. Dude, I played a good bit after the game was over just to get my horse stuff all the way up.
Okay, as long
I played
as
that entire game without using Deadeye because I forgot that was a thing.
God.
But the biggest
in the name.
disappointment, the last game I pre-ordered and probably will ever pre-order was Fallout
Yeah.
76.
Go to town.
On what? Like
Yeah.
there wasn't a game really released.
There wasn't even a town.
Have you played it since then?
Apparently,
No,
they're
not
going to
really.
be adding NPCs to that game.
Yeah,
so
well,
they're actually going to be making it a game now.
It's Fallout 76 is a game that just keeps digging its hole. Like we had a great redemption story with No Man's Sky, where a game came out, didn't meet expectations, but they didn't let that stop them. They turned that game into a great game. Whereas Fallout 76, they took a game
They're
that
like-
was a good idea on paper and just fucking made it worse and worse and worse. Where the other
And then-
games
oh my God,
are
yeah.
open service type games
Dude.
where you buy the game and then the DLC is free. Whereas Fallout 76, they make basic things like extended storage and plus like that and stuff like that behind a fucking paywall.
Yeah.
And when they finally got that released and people actually paid for it, ended up deleting your inventory through a bug.
Yeah. And now they're like, yeah, hey, we're going to add like story content to it by adding like actual NPCs. And then they're also charging you like a subscription price.
Yeah, that game shows
It is
Bethesda's scummy
a fucking-
money harvesting ways. Really,
It's just fucking bad
man.
thing after just terrible thing. It's the worst game. I would bring to this table, this court of hog that we've had joined in a long time, condemn Bethesda over this game as the worst game of the decade.
yeah.
Yeah.
The worst. Okay. Let me rephrase that. The worst triple A game of the decade.
That's fair.
Why, you have something worse that's an
I'm
indie?
just saying, just in case there was like an indie / any other game that was actually worse. But of
I mean,
course,
it's
we would
the
have
one
never
that
heard
you've
about
played,
it.
so.
Of the games I have played, but
Yeah.
I'm positing that this is actually the fucking worst game out of every game that was released this decade. Because of business practices and because of what they've done since the release of the game, that this is the worst game of the decade. The most fun that I had was with my previous roommate Jacob and meeting just this random dude online. We fucking made our own gang in the game and just had a lot of fun just fucking around. That was the most fun we had. It was like an hour worth of time of fun versus the slog of a game.
It's like a Razzie Award. It's like the biggest
Yeah.
movie that everyone saw.
Plus,
That's
they
shitty.
skimped on the stuff for their collector's edition too.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's,
It's
They really fucked
It's
up
definitely
on
not the
76.
worst game of the year, but it's the worst game that
the
everyone
worst
knows
triple
about.
game, triple A game of the year.
I don't doubt it. That thing looks like
The
shit.
worst AAA game of the year, by
and
far.
I said, man, I was like, I don't know about
I
this
fucking
thing.
love the Fallout series.
And
Fallout
you-
3 was my favorite game for a long time. Fallout 4 I loved. I put a lot of time in Fallout 4, even though I didn't like as much as Fallout 3, but the base building stuff, yeah, that's another thing to get me. Like being able to build and design
Yeah.
stuff. Even
Fuck,
though
yeah.
the building in Conan's so much better than the building in Fallout 4.
It's actually
stupid.
really good, even though
It's
it's
stupid, yeah.
clunky. It's like really good.
But Fallout 76 really fucking missed the mark there. And they haven't attempted to hide the fact that it was just a cash grab to fund other
No,
projects.
and they
It's exactly
because
what
remember
was.
it was Fallout 4 was like, oh, we're gonna have an
and
online
then
mod.
and then when they finally get Starfield, whatever comes out, it's always going to be like, well, Obsidian released Outer Worlds, and you're making a game exactly like it. You're not original anymore. That's probably that's probably going to be the reception for Starfield whenever that fucking comes out.
They own Obsidian Entertainment, so
Do they?
yeah. So
it's still another studio.
But
even
then
if
why
they
is
own it.
Obsidian throwing shade at Bethesda if Bethesda
they said
owns
they
them?
weren't, and people misconstrued what they said.
Well, it was throwing shade nonetheless.
Yeah, you can still do that. They're still their
But
own
anyways,
studio, generally.
even if they're going to come out with the same exact fucking game, why not just have Obsidian push out? Like, just let Obsidian be the developers for these type of games, the Fallout genre. But then again, there's certain issues that I have with
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds that you might have already gotten a taste of earlier in the
And
episode.
we can talk about it next
but yeah.
week. But yeah. All right, so Spider-Man came out in 2018.
Still haven't played it.
I'm the only one who's played that one. It's really good. I know, Schweiss, you really like the combat that's in like the Shadow of War games. That's based on the Arkham style fighting, and that they have a similar fighting style in Spider-Man. It's really fluid, really feels like Spider-Man.
You know what I would combat? You know what? Yeah, that Jake's playing that, and he says it's really good.
It's really good. Yeah, I really like Spider-Man.
I think you gave that your game of the year this year too.
For 2018.
Yeah, I think you did, which I thought was blasphemy because God of War is clearly.
I think I gave it to God of War. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I did.
You know what I would combat Cameron's claim of Fallout being the worst AAA game with, though?
What?
The City of Final Fantasy NT.
Oh.
That thing is dog shit.
I don't know if I'd combat it, because 76 is a shit show, but that would be fucking close.
Yeah, it's not like that thing's not a shit show. That thing fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah, NT
But
is...
did it have predatory things that they released into the game.
No, they just
in a
made,
way, because they released a free version where they're like telling people to buy the stuff that you could earn in game as DLC.
Also, it had online that was hosted by you, so most people were playing it in Japan, and so I'd be with a Japanese person's host, and it was unplayable online, and that's just how it is. So fuck that game. Fuck that game so hard. I hate it.
Okay, and then Monster Hunter World. Yeah, Cam and I played the shit out of that. That was a good one.
So that was another really good game. So Monster Hunter World, okay, out of games that you have to grind for shit and play something over and over again, Monster Hunter World is exactly that. There's armor sets that you have to make that you need X parts from a certain monster you have to fight in order to make it, and you have to fight. Sometimes you have to fight that same thing over and over and over again just to get the stupid armor set that you wanted. And then guess what they did before they released this new big DLC patch? They would release the same monster again, but this time it's a little bit harder. And then what did they do? They released another set of just a little bit harder of the same monsters. They just did that over and over again. So of course I fell off after a little bit, but playing through the story of that game and then playing with friends and stuff, yeah, it's a great game. Like, I fucking love Monster Hunter. Especially
they did a really good job with
World.
this one.
Yeah. And then sometimes you do have to grind. I'm fine with a grind as long as it's within
The grind
realms
with this
of
one, it's kind of annoying, but at the same time, it's better than in most games because you're only fighting the one monster. It's not like you're fighting waves and waves of enemies doing one
and then
boring
when it
mission
comes
over and
and then
over
when
and
it
over
comes
again.
to Monster Hunter, where other games you're fighting waves of the same enemy, and it just gets so fucking boring. Like in Monster Hunter, like, you have to be good at the game. You have to learn the monsters' patterns. You have to like be on your fucking toes, or else you get
And you
carded
have to
so
learn
fast.
your fucking
and so
weapon.
it's definitely a little bit of a higher skill type of game. And then with 14 different weapon choices, like the replayability value of grinding through these monsters is super high because you can be fighting these monsters a completely different way with a different weapon style.
Yeah, they definitely get up to harder monsters. Like, there's a point where like you can just play
And then-
breeze through,
and then when
nothing's
they,
a problem,
the
and then
story-
you get to Nergigante, and then it's like, fuck.
The story was great, and when Iceborne dropped, again, another great expansion to the fucking story. Like, as far as grindy games go, Monster Hunter is definitely my favorite. I haven't given it a lot of time recently just because of
Other
I
stuff.
get tired of grind. I really do. It's just and then with Monster Hunter, it's just like they keep raising the skill ceiling, which is great for the hardcore players. They keeps giving them something to strive for. But now, after it's been a few years, I have like several levels of grinding to do to get up to the skill ceiling. It's just stupid.
Yeah. Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta 2 did come out.
Fucking
Yep.
sweet. Love that game. Better combat than Nier Automata.
I do need to play that one.
Oh, you haven't played it yet?
I
I
haven't
own the cartridge for Switch if you want to borrow it.
I've been thinking about just buying it because I need to play through the first one again.
Oh, yeah, well, you could just take the Switch and use your profile. Because, I mean, all of the Switches they're just the shows. And it was download only for one, which is really lame. But it is on the Switch, and it's a good version. It's really smooth.
Yeah.
So I know the PS3 version was kind of shit, but
Smash Ultimate came out in 2018. It's a pretty good Smash Bros. Game. It's this decade has been like fucking crazy for fighting games.
yeah, there've been a lot of like old series coming back,
Yeah,
like with big titles that are
yeah,
well
like
received,
the ones I've already mentioned,
except
like
for
with,
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur 6 actually did come out this year. In 2018.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's that's another big one, and fucking Dragon Ball Fighters came out this year, which is probably my number 2 fighting game. It
Really?
is fucking smooth, fucking fast, and super good. I love it a lot. It's a fucking great game. Yeah, there's been a lot of fighting games, and so Calibur 6 is great. We got Geralt from Witcher 3.
Oh, he's in there?
In Soul Calibur.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so is B2.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. There was an episode of Ultima Final Fantasy where someone sent in their Final Fantasy story, and they were like, "Oh, Tifa's the hottest video game character ever made," and I was like, "Yeah, wait till they find B2." Like then we'll talk. Or
I still need to.
or A1 steak sauce.
I still need to see B2 in Soul Calibur.
You'd like B2 a lot
Why?
in that game.
What about
Because
B2?
She has a bullshit amount of range. She's fucking fast, and you can use her, like, all of her special skills really easily. And her fucking little dude can fucking shoot people with both missiles and, like, fucking the bullets.
But you saw
She's
how good I got at
fucking
that.
crazy.
At that one character / skill set.
Yeah.
That real bullshit dude.
what was her name? Like S1 or something? The other chick that was like
A1.
A2?
Stay sauce.
Oh, is it A2? Yeah.
No, A2.
Pour
A2
some steak sauce on that
yeah.
stanky old pooter.
What was that character's name that I got really good at? Or at least the skill set before I
Tell me
started
the
creating my own
weapon.
character. It's the magic user. His magic art style, he'd create magical weapons and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
he had like this dash or charge move across the map. And
I can't remember his name.
okay,
I know who you're talking about, though, but I can't remember his name.
got really good at that moveset.
Far Cry 5 for you, Craig.
Far Cry 5, yeah, you need to play that one.
I know. I got them all for Christmas. 5 and its sequel.
I liked 5 a lot. Fuck.
Hey,
He's stuck.
out.
He's stuck. He was trying to get out, but he was stuck.
Far Cry 5 is a really good one. I like that one a lot. There's a lot of fun stuff to do, and it's kind of interesting being like in America rather than like some weird foreign country.
Yeah.
It was and then fighting like a cult. That was really interesting. That one also has the drug trip.
And of course it does. It's just it's a staple now. Every Far Cry story now has a format they have to follow.
Yeah, dude, you have to have that like fucking sequence where you like burn the drugs every time. Every time. Yeah, that was a good one. I like Far Cry 5. It had some pretty good humor in there too.
Yeah.
Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out that year
Yeah.
as well. We did a review for that one. I like that.
Then the game I spent the second most amount of time on, Battlefield 5.
Yeah. I like Battlefield 5, but I like 1 and 4 more.
Correct, and there's a reason why. Battlefield 5 it could have been a great game, and they were on track to make it a great game. Terrible launch aside.
I don't really like the sniping in it. Which
I
Battlefield,
enjoy
whenever
it.
I play
I'm
Battlefield,
really good at
I
it.
like sniping.
I mean,
I just don't care for it.
I'm really
5.
good. I don't know what it is, but I am very decent at it, and especially
Maybe
aggressive
it's just because
sniping.
like I haven't found a map in there that I really like sniping on.
Right.
Because there's been one
For me,
in 1.
I have
and
a lot of
in
fun
4.
sniping, but when I'm sniping within the 40 meter or less range, that's when I do the best. I call it like assault sniper. That's kind of the way I like to play it. Battlefield 5, they had a great setup. They're going to hit a lot of the conflicts that previous World War II games hadn't hit, and they were doing a great job about it. But then as the game progressed, they kept tweaking stuff that didn't need to be changed, like time to death, stuff like that. They didn't improve the net code, which they should have, which would fix the problems instead of tweaking how fast weapons kill. And then they had a release schedule that they were supposed to stick to, but never did. It was so long in between DLC releases for guns and new maps that people fucking got bored. And then when everyone was with like the November-ish last year, everyone was so fucking happy with where the game was as far as weapon play was. Mm-hmm. We had a couple new maps. They were happy, but they're like, oh, well, Christmas is coming. We better make it a little bit easier for the new players type of thing. And then they trashed the time to death with this another update that really made people mad again. So a game that keeps flip-flopping back and forth with stuff like that, just over and over and over. I don't know. I haven't played it since I got Modern Warfare. I might go back to it. I mean, I enjoyed it to an extent. I really did. I mean, I put the hours into it. But they really shot themselves in the foot with that because they just needed a good, steady content release. But then, we're going to talk about the winner of the game of the year.
I still got 2 more games.
Okay.
Vampire came out, and that one's a really interesting game that I kind of wished one of you guys would have played so we could have done a review for it. Because it's... I have so many mixed feelings on that game that I just really wanted to talk it out, but I can't really do that when nobody else has played it.
Well, I guess we got to play it.
Also, there's Schweiss has a pretty favorite clip, I imagine, of me playing that.
Yeah, that one's pretty funny.
Because I got fucking mad at that one fight. Because, dude, there's a fight in the middle of the game and at the end of the game, and they're just fucking... Both of those fights are fucking bullshit hard.
Yeah.
They just, like, they spike. It's like, it's fucking random in that game. Like, there's just a random difficulty spike in the middle of the game, and then at the end of the game.
Judging from other games where certain things are super bullshit difficult for you, but then we had issues with different parts of the game, I think, yeah, we should play it just to see.
Oh, man, that's... okay, anyway. So, yeah, Vampire was an interesting experience. And it's an interesting story as well. And another game that came out that year is Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
I've been borrowing that from Schweiss, who's been borrowing it from somebody else, I think.
Yeah.
And that one's a really interesting game. I should probably finish that up.
Another honorable mention of this year would be Destiny 2.
Did we not talk about that one? I'm pretty sure I said
You
something
mentioned
about
it earlier when you were talking
It
about
was a good...
loot boxes.
Well, that with Destiny, but yeah, Destiny 2. It was a decent game.
I didn't mind the story in it, although I definitely like the Taken King more from the original Destiny, because that boss fight was way better. But.
Yeah.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I know you probably mentioned that, but
Lesbians
it was fine.
Lesbians Are Strange too. That came out.
Lesbians Are Strange too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Never played that though.
I thought that was I thought it was called Lesbian RPG too.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of the year. That's a fucking good game. I was considering having that as my game of the year. It's really good.
Yeah.
It is a good one.
It's really good in almost every way, and in very different ways from the game that I gave Game of the Year. And also similar ways, too. Some of the pacing in it's not the best, and...
I still really, really don't like that they didn't give you credits after Arthur's death.
Yeah.
That really bothers me. Because it was like 5 seconds after he dies, and it's like, now you're playing as John.
Yeah.
It just didn't give you time to absorb that moment. And I really don't like
So
that.
you just wanted that last little bit of the game to be the prologue.
What?
Is it prologue? This little bit of a
Epilogue.
story, epilogue. So you just wanted that little bit to be the epilogue, where you had the main story and it was done, but now you're seeing the epilogue, which sets up the next book.
I mean, it was set up as an epilogue.
Essentially,
but...
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's an epilogue, and there's like 2 parts to it, which an epilogue should never, ever be 2 parts, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean...
But anyway...
What if you made it one big part, but it was the same content? Is there any difference really there?
Yes.
Although there is a time jump, huh? That is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
That is kind of dumb. Just, you don't need to worry about the time jump between the end of 2 and the beginning of 1. Just say there's a time jump and don't put it in the epilogue. Yeah,
I feel like the whole part where John Marston becomes a ranch hand could have been a little expedited. We didn't need to spend as much time.
yeah.
I don't think that it
shoveling
needed,
shit.
I honestly don't think it needed to be there at all. I think that it should have just done.
It was
like
just trying to portray about how much John Marston was trying to live that life behind.
I know.
I feel like the farm
it.
scene, the ranch hand part, should have been expedited, where you
The
did
thing is,
the problem
as a ranch hand, and then you had the whole.
I think
fight.
the problem that Craig has is that it's not his game, and he shouldn't have been in the game to the level he was.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, I know they were trying to copy 1 because 1 has you play as Jack at the end of the first game. And it makes sense for you to be able to play as John afterwards, but only to like finish up missions you didn't do as
that's what Jack did.
As John. I mean, or as Arthur. Like that's the only thing it should have been.
You avenge him, and you do that too.
Yeah, you just do the avenging thing, and then you're done with that. Like that's all it should have been.
Red
like,
Dead 1, that's all it was.
Red Dead is all John Marston. You get all of John's character in Red Dead 1. You don't need any build up for
and
in the end of
it takes
in
takes
Red
away
Dead 2.
from Arthur's story too.
It does, especially since it like forces you into that, and then it's the slowest fucking part of the game.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps going. So you don't get to like sit there and like absorb Arthur's death. You like get thrust into the
especially
slowest
like
and arguably the worst part of that game.
Yeah. I mean, you had this huge build up to the end of Arthur Morgan and this huge thing.
So they kind of fucked the
it felt
ending.
like it was the end of the game, but then there's like a whole another like hours after.
I
that
would
that you have
say
to play
about
through.
like 2.5 more hours. Of
yeah,
the
and
game.
so it's just
if you
like
just do that,
yeah.
And so they fucked the ending, and I can't forgive them for that.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
just
and
can't.
you start as playing as like current Cam, and then you go to playing as like skinny Schweiss. Like it just seems wrong. Shittier facial hair. Like you had such a magnificent beard in the most of the campaign, and now you just got this guy with like a gap there.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean, I was just going to
God.
compare. Like they put this comparison on themselves. They're directly comparing Arthur Morgan with Marston by doing so much of Marston's beginning part of his story as the epilogue, whereas you're directly comparing the two characters, and people are going to go, "Oh wait, I just played this wonderful game. I think I like Arthur Morgan a lot more, especially since his story is
since they
a lot
give
more
John
fun."
like the shittiest part. Like,
Yeah.
it just doesn't work. And it, like,
But side by side, I feel like even so the whole game of the first Red Dead Redemption, I feel like Arthur Morgan's story is more compelling overall.
I think
Arthur
so,
Morgan
too.
has a better story.
I don't think so.
I think so, too.
I like Arthur.
I like John
I
Marston's
like
story,
Arthur, but I think John is better.
but as a story, as a character, Arthur Morgan has it's like a huge just changing of character. It's just a huge
It's-
changing of
I
character.
don't think it is. I think it's a fucking horseshit 180, and John's like whole thing was more compelling because he was trying to be a good man the whole time, even though women were like, "Hey, we could just fuck," or like, he started building a kind of like relationship with that one chick where he's staying at her farm the whole time. But he was like, I can't
Arthur Morgan
do
really
anything because I'm
never had a
married and I'm
chance
trying to
to
be.
that.
Yeah, but he still was like, his whole thing was like, oh, it's my chick that I was going to marry, her family didn't like me, so it just didn't work out.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't go sleeping around either. He still
Yeah.
remains loyal to her because he's convinced that it can still
Eh,
work.
I don't know.
I think his story is more compelling. I think he has a stronger hero's journey than
Yeah, definitely.
than Marston.
It-
They're
it's-
both
it's-
really
it's-
good,
it's-
though.
He's the one who sets up John Marston's story in the long run. He's the one who he's like,
He
hey,
makes him a man.
I've been a union man, I've been a gang man most of my life with this thing here, but he's finally coming to terms. Like he has given 100% of his life.
He hasn't
He's
been
so much
anything
older
other than a gang
John
member.
Marston. Exactly. He's given 100% of his life to his gang, his family, and now he's the one who starts to see things fall apart. I mean, yeah, John Marston sees it. He wants to get out a little
John's
earlier.
seen it the whole time, and he tries to tell Arthur
But then
whole
it's
time.
Arthur Morgan
and then
who
Arthur's
has to
like,
come to
oh,
terms
yeah, you're
with
right.
how it's changing, and it's him who really gives John Marston his chance. It's really
I don't
Arthur
know.
Morgan. The sacrifice that Arthur Morgan made on that hill that day really gave John Marston.
I
the
think you're
life he
just having
has.
feels because John gets his hat.
I think it's a great story arc. It's fantastic. They both are, though. They're both really good character arcs.
I mean, I would have been as excited for Red Dead Redemption 2 if it wasn't for Red Dead Redemption. And that
I
being
also
an
think
excellent
there was
game.
way too much Dutch and his plan.
Yeah.
yeah.
Gotta believe in the plan, Arthur.
It made
Yeah.
him seem like a crazy man the whole time.
I mean, yeah,
and you knew
that's
there
kind of
was
the
going to
point.
be a fucking confrontation from the beginning.
He was a
It
crazy
just-
man. It was just him descending into more and more craziness as he felt like his power was slipping, so he had to reassert himself more. And then, of course, getting into bed with people who were more of the criminal nature. And
Yeah. I love that fucking game.
Yeah.
It's great. They're both fantastic
It was all right.
games.
But the game
Oh,
of
yeah.
the year.
The most hardcore game this year, God of War 2018, no doubt. What a fucking sweet game.
I wonder when the next God of War game is going to be.
Probably 2021, I bet.
You think so?
I think so. It's a slowed down combat, similar to like sort of kind of like a Dark Souls, but like more of like just a third person over shoulder.
I
Gears
think it's
of War
slower
camera
just
style.
because they don't throw as many enemies at you.
It's also slower because he's older. It like
Yeah.
aged. It's moved on with Kratos.
Yeah.
The story is fucking amazing. It's super simple. So emotional.
They throw in sweet gameplay mechanics like letting you use your son as a fucking arrow flinger.
yeah, excellent boss fights with the Valkyries.
Like honestly, like this game really did a lot, for me at least, to point out how video games can be the next great medium for storytelling. Getting you involved in the story at that level, instead of just reading a book or watching a movie. I mean, both of those are great to consume a story as the author or the director wants you to consume that story. Whereas this is a medium for you to involve yourself in that story and help shape it the way you feel like it should be.
They also did like the best possible version of the thing that like Final Fantasy 15 started doing, where like the characters start having conversations along the way.
Yeah, this is the best version.
Like when
of
you
that.
when you get like Mimir, like him and the boy start really talking, and Kratos
Those boat
kind of
scenes,
silence.
those
and
boat
then,
scenes of you, in the boat going from place to
Yeah,
place, those
and then-
little tidbits of story as they would
Yeah.
develop. Perfect use of time. And
and then like
don't
when,
make you sit through a cutscene. I mean, cutscenes are great, but make the story and the gameplay inseparable. It's
Yeah.
like as you are playing the game, you are unfolding the story, and those little down moments, after you have beaten a boss or done another thing. Now you're traveling to the next area. The gameplay is at a lull where it's perfect to inject some story and some extra experience that you wouldn't have had otherwise if they had to
Yeah.
stop the gameplay completely.
there's also a lot of emotion from the characters that like you don't really see in most of their video games of the same thing. Like even in Red Dead, there wasn't that much emotion in any of the characters. Or in like God of War, you get like the whole when he starts saying like Zeus in the underworld area, and he just like tells the boy not to look, even though, and like when he starts fucking yelling and killing his dad, like it's fucking insane.
That was the most hardcore moment of that year.
And then when he goes back to get the blades of chaos,
Yeah,
and
dude,
then,
that
and
was-
then like at the end of the game where he like unwraps the thing
just
from his arms.
the weight they were able to convey, the heaviness of emotion, the previous life that he had pretty much done as much as he could to forget, to leave the past. He now has to dig up the dead. He has to dig up and confront the things that he had to do before that he was trying to run away from. And just the whole weight of that scene and
it
of that
says
moment
a lot for it too, especially
really
since
is impactful.
the three of us have all played God of War games.
Yeah.
And Joe didn't, and Joe still felt that.
Yeah,
And
that's how good it is.
And that's how good, yeah. Like,
It's
that's
self-contained.
insane.
Because this character, at least peripherally, right?
Yeah.
And, dude, that scene where he goes to get the blades, that is the best scene of 2018. That is the best thing 2018 has.
I will say
It's
that's probably
fucking
the
heavy.
best scene from a video game of the decade. If I want to make a grandstand statement like that,
It's fucking good.
as far as the it's storytelling and exposition in a video game, that one scene is probably the best scene you can pull out of any video game in 2018.
because it's
Or a
slow.
decade.
You feel the emotion behind it. You feel his like.
I fucking want to play it again now.
You feel how he doesn't want to do it, and he has to do it, and you're just slowly walking up to that shit.
I mean, it's
The
just like
flashbacks,
he
like,
needs to
fuck.
pick it up. He needs these weapons, but it's at the same time it's him facing his past and getting over the things he did.
Yeah.
he was running away. He was never truthful to his son. He was lying about his heritage. As a way to run away from the past, his fear for his son in the future. But now him doing this is him actually confronting and coming to terms of the things he did. At the same time as grabbing these, it's just a wonderful, just storytelling experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking good, dude. That part alone is worth replaying the game for. Isn't that the only game we've given a perfect score to?
Yeah, it was. I think we came really fucking close with Witcher 3, but like there was just like 2-3 points off.
Yeah.
Yeah, God of War, the perfect score.
I think like whatever else you think about it, just those fucking moments by itself. Just
And again, I feel like God of War is a landmark in the journey of video games becoming an all-over accepted storytelling medium, mainstream storytelling medium. It's just so impactful and so emotional and such a visceral way to share that story. It could have been a book. It could have been a wonderful book. Someone could have wrote that scene in detail, and then you would have been able to read that and then digest that, in your own way. But then being able to take part of it as in a video game, you just don't get that in any other form of medium.
Yeah.
it's
You take part in that story. You feel it as if you were there with Kratos. But yeah.
So yeah, game of the year. God of War.
Definitely, yeah. No questions. So, 2019, the last year in our roundup. pretty big year itself.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't know if
We
it's
talked a lot about these games throughout that this last year too.
Yeah.
At least most of the ones that we've actually played or come into contact with. Because I know we don't want to just like read off the list of all the ones that have come out, but
You sure that's not what you want to do?
I mean, that's what you said you didn't want to do, so that's what we're not going to do.
Oh, okay. Let's just behind the scenes it here. Yeah, no, seriously though, great shit. First things first.
So I mean, I got Death Stranding.
Great game in its own ways.
I haven't played it and I hate it.
Yeah.
I can
played
understand that, Cam.
and I hate it.
really can, because you don't come to enjoy any part of the game until the last five chapters.
Let's talk about such a huge drop in emotional height from talking about God of War to fucking Death Stranding.
I don't know, man. It's satisfying in its own way. And even James,
Death
I let him
Stranding-
borrow it, and he's like, this game has such a stupid concept, but it's so fun. I don't understand why. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's so dumb, but it's satisfying in a weird way.
Does it really spark the your want of self punishment that you usually get through Conan?
Kind of, yeah. I played the fuck out of that game.
He
I put,
did
like,
do a lot of extra missions, and I did not.
Yeah.
Because I knew there was going to be self punishment in doing anything extra, and I was right.
Yeah, it spoke to me in a way that's very strange. I don't quite understand what
It's
to
the
make
Wheel
of
of Pain mentality.
It is.
It's absorbed. into
Most of the
Schweitz.
other games from this year don't have that.
It's the Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Right now, you're in love with your pain.
Yeah.
It is an interesting game in its own way, but
Beautiful
it takes
story,
way
though.
too long to get to that point.
You keep saying beautiful story,
It is, man.
but it's such a disconnected, disjointed thing from what you guys have said, with so much just fantasy just
I will
injected
tell
into
you
the
this,
story,
Cam.
and you're just forced to eat it and just have it as is. Whereas we just talked about God of War, which was just a monumental landmark in storytelling. When you have fucking Hideo Kojima, who built a monument to Hideo Kojima in this game that's just Death Stranding, and he tries to make it as fucking symbolic as he can, because he fucking feeds on him feeling like he's such a just this genius when it comes to storytelling and being.
If this game were a movie, I have no doubt that it would be that it would get an Oscar. I have no doubt.
Yeah, he's good, man. There's a reason why he's as popular and as big as he is. It's because he is good. He's very good
He should
at
just
making
make movies
compelling
already.
stories.
I mean, he
he's
can
going
make
to.
compelling stories, but do you feel like this type of story was well served by being a video game?
No.
I think this is about as
Not
good
at
as
all.
you can make it. So, in a way,
It kind of felt, in a way, like how shitty video game movie, like the movie video games are. The ones that are based off of movies. It kind of felt like that to me, because that's kind of what it is. It's a movie that's a video game. And
yeah,
it shouldn't be.
the story is very disconnected from the game in a
Yeah.
lot of ways.
It
I don't
takes-
dislike either. I really like the story. I think it's one of the best
The
stories.
story is too condensed for it to be as long as it is,
Yeah.
and it really hurts it.
The gameplay is kind of a separate. The gameplay is fun in its own way, but it doesn't serve the story, which is
And
where it's different from God of War. God of War, it's like I don't like the story in God of War as much. I don't think it's as emotionally impactful. But
It's
the
like-
way God of War handled story is excellent, and that should be the standard.
Let me put it this way: it'd be like if you played Nier Automata, but Nier Automata had hours and hours and hours of grinding in those kind of like barren areas the entire time before you get to this actual story bits. You love the story bits; they're really good. But you had hours of grinding
know.
in between those.
I feel like I'd
points.
become resentful of the story bits between them.
That is what happens, because that is that game.
It didn't happen to me, but I also did most of my grinding in chapters
And then-
3 and 5.
But here's
and
the
then
thing:
rest of
they
the story
also
happened.
shove all the story at the end.
Yeah. And so it's kind of a good idea, because then it's like when you're done.
You just basically hate the first 35 hours
Yeah.
of the game.
God damn it.
When you're done fucking around with the game,
I
then
hate
you-
basically a work week worth of work that
Yeah.
goes into playing this game.
But like when you get
God fucking no. That's just, to me,
Well-
it's just no.
think about it like this: once you get done playing the game, when you say, "Okay, I've had enough of playing this," then you go get to experience a really great story, and you can do it pretty
can't fucking
fast.
tell me. No, you can't fucking tell me that you can hate something for so long, and then the last little bit is enough to make the whole overall experience amazing. No, fuck that. I don't care. I'll play come out with a fucking abridged version of the game. I'll play that.
Well, you can play it pretty fast. I didn't hate it for that long. I only didn't like it for the first like 8 hours, and then after that, I was
you can't tell me like, oh, I love this game. I mean, well, the first little bit was stupid. It's like, oh, I love this person. I know they're abusive for the first 10 years of my life, but they're so great now. Fuck that.
Well, you've never played a Kojima game either, have you?
No.
Yeah, so you don't know.
I hate this game, and I've only heard people talking about it, and from them talking about it, I hate it. Okay. I haven't even tried it, and I hate it. I know it's stupid, but I hate it.
It is pretty dumb.
It's like hearing about someone's abusive spouse from them
without meeting him. Yeah, you already hate him.
Yeah,
you would hate it. I have no doubt.
I think he'd like the story, though. I don't know if he'd like it as much as I do, but
he would.
Is the story very contrived and reliant so much on its own little teeny universe and the way they have it set up to actually work?
Not really, surprisingly.
Yes and no.
Could you take the meat of that story, the emotion it's trying to convey, and put it in like a different setting, and would it still work?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's hard. The style, I don't know.
No.
The hard thing is
some of it, yes.
It is a movie. That's the hard thing. Is like that's why it would be a really good movie. But as a game, like the gameplay and the story are almost separate. It's separate beasts.
There's some that's. Some parts of the emotion that's like character driven, and then some of it is based entirely around like what the game is.
This is what I've talked to you about when it comes to like Marvel TV shows. For the most part, I do not like Marvel superhero TV shows. I feel like they're just stupid. Fucking
Luke Cage season 2 didn't do it.
Okay, I was gonna say I just feel like it's just stupid. Just hitting you about the head. Oh, it's superheroes doing superhero shenanigans and just very vapid. You just can't get into it. Yeah. Whereas when I watched Luke Cage season 1, it showed me what great storytelling could be. So to me, it's just like if you take the gimmick, the thing that you're trying to do, like a Marvel superhero story, it's the superpowers, that's the gimmick, and the super villains you have to fight. But if you take away the superhero-ness, do you still have a story that works? And with Luke Cage season 1, yes,
you do.
You have a wonderful story still without the superpowers. You have a man trying to take back his city from and try to restore it back to the way it was and the way it should be, taking it back from the crime that has it in its grips. And that you could have it as a vigilante, just normal, people type of story. It'd be great. But now you add superpowers to it and you tailor it to the story itself, and it's wonderful. It works because you took the gimmick and your story works without it.
Well,
and then does Death Stranding work without the fucking Stranding gimmick?
No.
I mean, that's kind of a hard thing to force it to work without it. It's kind of hard to try to say, hey, take out
like saying,
the gimmick of Death Stranding and does it have a workable story? Because part of that story is the gimmick.
I think it definitely has a workable story.
The story is entirely based around like what's going on in the world, and if you didn't have that, then most of that wouldn't exist.
I don't think that's true. I think the emotional aspect of the story...
None of that would exist.
No, the emotional aspect of the story...
The BB wouldn't be there. The fucking Death Stranding stuff wouldn't be there. So Mama wouldn't be there. The fucking like Hartman wouldn't have any of that stuff. Like none of those characters...
All of that's peripheral stuff to me.
All of those characters are connected to the Stranding. So if they don't have the Stranding... then they don't have anything.
No, I think you do have something.
So I would say that the Stranding itself is not the problem.
The story is...
because they developed the story around that whole aspect, which is fine.
That is the whole thing, though.
No, I think there's more to it than that. I think there's a lot more to it as far as like his journey
I just
and
feel
like his father's love for him and like all of that. You can have a movie that's that. That's basically what a lot of what Lion King is this movie.
I just feel like he tried too hard to make it
too much.
So symbolic and so
it's like it's almost an archetypal story. You can't tell me that it doesn't work
too much
outside of the Stranding itself. That's nonsense. It's a story that's been told a million times.
You could tell a story that's similar, but it wouldn't have the same
Oh, it wouldn't be the same because it's not the
No,
same. We're
I'm not
pulling
saying-
the thing that makes it its own identity
I'm not
out.
saying-
I was
it would be-
saying like
I'm
the
not
stranded
saying
part
that it
is a
would-
part of the story. You can't take that out of it.
What,
you-
are you talking about the gameplay?
Then what are you
Like
talking
the
about?
BBs and stuff like that. Just the way they had an idea, a concept.
Well, yeah,
And I
that's
feel
like taking Jedi out
I
of
just
Star
feel like
Wars.
They,
It's like,
they,
could you
they
have the
took,
same
they
thing?
took
It's
an
like, well,
idea
no.
and they stretched it way too thin to pull as much symbolism and connectivity as they could
Well,
out of it.
Mostly what they tried to do is they padded gameplay like insanely, and that's why it's super long.
Yeah, it's the gameplay. So
the
does it
gameplay
work?
basically shouldn't be there at all, and then it would be
Yeah.
fine.
Does it work without the gameplay? Yes. But the gameplay also is sort of connected. It's like they're almost two things. Like
God
if
of
it
War
was
balanced gameplay with storytelling
Yeah.
beautifully.
Yeah.
And all I'm gathering,
It's
I
com-
guess,
it's
is
just
Death
super-
Stranding couldn't do the same
It's
thing.
super unbalanced.
no, it's you could have a good game that's just the game. That's a fun like community building up a world that fell.
if it's
and then a really
gameplay-
good story.
But I still
they don't
just,
need
like
each
the little
other.
tidbits of the story here. It just sounds like someone's way too far up their own ass and trying
So-
to be super artful and
All of the story is basically like you go from point to point to point to like connect everything to the chiral network. And if it was purely that, then it would still work. It would still work, and it would be like a 15-hour game, maybe a little less, and it
Yeah.
would work super well. But they pad the gameplay, and each of those points has about like 5 or 6 other points in between, like going on to the next point.
Right.
And because they do that, it pads it out way too much.
right.
So it just doesn't work.
Okay.
So another game that came out 2019, Sekiro.
Yes, I think we want to wait until Schweiss is back before we get into
All right,
that,
well then I'll talk
but-
about Pokemon Sword and Shield. So Pokemon Sword and Shield, that came out in this year, and I don't mind it.
Do you have your Gigantamax under control?
I don't have that many Gigantamax Pokemon, so they can't go out of control. I
If
only
you
have-
were to loved ones depressed,
I have-
try Gigantamax.
I have 3 Gigantamax Pokemon. No, wait, 4. I
If
have
you or a
4
loved one has been
Gigantamax
diagnosed
Pokemon.
with Gigantamax, you may be entitled to a financial compensation.
Did you just pull the trigger on Sekiro while I was taking a piss?
He tried to.
You can't do the game
I
of
thought-
the year, the second game after we
The
bitch
game
about
of the year?
Death Stranding for 20 minutes, mostly from a guy who hasn't played it. You can't follow that up with the best
Yeah,
game.
you know what? You were taking a piss. I thought you were going to be faster, but apparently you have like a 5-minute
just,
piss time.
Just
Well,
beat
I got
Outer
strong.
Worlds. I mean,
Uh,
it's not often. I mean, I guess I did a little bit with Red Dead, but it's not often that I play a game and beat it almost like in the same year it came out. It's not often I do that, but Outer Worlds was. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I still want to play Metro.
Pokemon Sword and Shield is a good one. I like it a lot. I like a lot of aspects about it. The story in it is absolute trash. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Like they could have had better writing and storytelling from a fucking 3-year-old. All right, like it's fucking awful.
Right.
Let me give you a peripheral plot for this. So okay, so the entire thing is based around you being like Pokemon battling is a sport. All right, in this game.
Yeah,
It's a sport. So everybody, like, it's a huge event. It's like soccer. Everybody comes to see it. You know, you get the fucking champion. Like, you go to battle the champion because you, like, earned your shit. You get all the way there. And then the fucking chairman of the whole Pokemon League is basically like, I'm worried about a power problem that will happen 1,000 years from now. I'm going to force this thing to happen so that you guys will confront that issue for me.
yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
Humans don't have that much foresight to solve problems for stuff that they're not going to be alive
Exactly.
for.
Like, he's like, we can't wait till tomorrow. We can't wait till after the Champion League is over to deal with this issue. I'm going to make this happen now.
Could you imagine if someone like 1,000 years ago talked about, possibly global warming? People wouldn't have taken him seriously. No one's going to even today. People are not going to take that seriously. I'm not going to be alive for the repercussions.
It's fucking stupid. Like,
I know
I'm just like,
Schweiss
what-
gets his skin a little ruffled every time you bring up global warming.
Yeah, I just think it's a lot of it's doomsdaying from.
Yeah, I mean a part of it, but
I mean,
At the other end of it,
look
though.
at every other time in the last 40 years that people have said that these mass extinction events are going to happen. They've never happened. So part of it's, I think, is just the the realization that we're all going to die one day. But you know,
what do you mean, like mass extinction, like
Mass
2012
extinction
or
event.
yeah, like 2000 year
No, that was-
Y2K.
that
Y2K was a
those
thing,
are
by the
totally
way.
different. Those are totally
No,
different
they are
things.
not. Or
Y2K was people afraid that fucking our technology wouldn't know how to progress to the year 2000 and revert back to
there was
the year
it was
1900
just a lot of
and erase all the
bugs that
data
were happening that
and
they
just,
had to like
and just
fix,
erase all
and
the
they
data.
did,
There was
they
more
did
than that.
avoid catastrophic
It was
stuff.
it was due to
There was- it was
a
more-
potential bug where it was the computers couldn't keep track of time past.
No, it was way more than that. People were convinced that that was going to be the end of the world.
Exactly, but that was
Not
that,
because,
that was the
not
issue.
necessarily because of that. That was part of it, but it was like every time a new, 1,000-year thing rolls around, a new century or a new millennia rolls around.
See, that's completely different.
No, it's really not. It always happens. It's not something you can just
It's
brush
not like
under
the
the rug.
end of the Mayan calendar type of thing.
No, it kind of was. It was like a more
Y2K maybe, but this global warming thing is not the same thing
well
in any regard.
No, I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying that it shares some of those features, and that's why.
Yeah,
it's-
people will latch on to like end of the world stuff.
and that's
they will
why
latch
it's,
on to it, but
it's not very believable. And it's that aspect of it's not believable. Obviously, the data is there, but it's also hard to believe in it when every motive, every motion to like deal with it is rife with socialistic garbage, like the Green New Deal. I don't think so. You can have something that addresses carbon, period, but not something that addresses carbon and totally restructures the entire.
But that's just an issue with politics altogether. Everyone who tries to pass a bill with like a fucking page or a footnote that's about something completely else.
Yeah,
that
we
they're
should
trying to
get
pass
rid
at
of
the
that.
same
We
time.
should stop
Yeah.
doing that. Only one thing per bill. That should be a law. That should be a rule. You can't hide random shit in your bills. That's why. And then the problem with the Green New Deal is anyone that calls it out is, oh, you're just a climate denier. It's like, no, I'm just not a socialist retard. That's all. You can have your climate bill and you can have your socialism bill, but you can't have both and then tell me that I'm against one aspect of it only, which is the aspect that is so clearly proven that is happening, and claim that that's the reason why I denied it is because I'm denying the climate changing itself. It's like,
Well-
no, I'm not. I'm denying your need to restructure society because you are a failure in society's eyes. That isn't the same argument at all.
Right. Regardless of that.
Craig doesn't have the foresight to look forward.
Regardless of that, I feel like the only
Fuck
way
you.
we're going to get
You just
around
barely
it,
got mad about it in a Pokemon game. Like, oh, the future? Fuck
no,
the future,
it was a
dude.
fucking
I didn't say
joke.
fuck the
Anyway.
future. I said fuck the aspect
The premise
of like
of the
they're
game,
looking up
yeah.
1,000 years from now. A power issue?
Yeah, I don't know how you can-
Power issue? There's 1,000 things that they could do to resolve that. They have fucking Pokemon in that world that are literal gods. They can do anything.
There's a thunder god too. They could have.
There is a thunder god. That is a literal fucking Pokemon. All right.
Yeah.
In fucking Gen 4, I caught God, literal God. He created everything. Everything, including the dragons of time and space. I control the universe. And they're worried
You're like-
about a fucking power issue.
Like, pretty sure we can handle
in
that.
1,000 years.
Yeah.
They have Pokemon that are based entirely around the ability to create electricity.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No, but I don't deny. I don't think that's. I don't know. I think there's a lot more to the climate change thing than people.
Yeah,
are willing
yeah.
to.
I think the only solution is to private. It's going to be private solutions
And
people are
clean
gonna come
up,
out
yeah.
with. And really, the only thing that's going
Yeah.
to really push it forward is privatizing / being able to market it and make money off of it.
Which is
So-
a possibility.
It
It
is,
always has
like,
been. I mean,
I've said this before. I feel like the real solution is carbon capture, where you can then turn that into fuel. That's the only way. That's
Yeah.
the only way people are going to go for it.
and it's going to be.
it
Someone's
makes
going to
money.
find a way to make it viable because someone always does.
People have figured it out, but it's just, is it
We
cost
should
effective?
move back to games.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to games.
Yeah, the power. They probably just did nuclear in Pokemon. They should have just done.
Actually, they were like siphoning power from a fucking like demonic dragon.
Oh, so it's like Doom
And
2016.
In a way, yeah.
that. Not as good though.
No, not as good. Yeah, the story in that game is absolute ass.
Oh, Craig, another
but-
one for you.
I wish.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh my god. Okay, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Such a 2019. It's a lot of hate from Craig here.
I mean, no, I liked Pokemon. There was a lot of haters for it, and I can understand why. But there are people who think that they should get fucking the DLC for Pokemon for free because they didn't get the Pokemon game they wanted, and those people are stupid.
Yeah, those people are scum.
Like,
Yeah.
Granted, Game Freak could have done a lot more. They're not a tiny fucking company like they pretend to be. They're not an indie company at all. They made billions of dollars. They're literally Nintendo's biggest moneymaker.
Yeah.
They're not a small company. They could do whatever the fuck they wanted, and they keep making handheld type Pokemon games. So there is some reason to be a little upset with them. But like, that's a tiny fucking thing.
We all know. Well, one thing we all know is Japanese game developers really only develop games for the Japanese market. Anything that rolls over into the other markets, yeah, they'll eat it up, and for the sales and whatnot.
Generally, yeah.
But their target audience,
it depends on
are going to be using handhelds because they're going to be playing it on transportation and whatnot.
Final Fantasy is the opposite, but Pokemon, yeah, for sure.
Game Freak also seems to forget that their target audience isn't actually children; it's adults.
That's why Pokemon Go is so big, is because it's adults that like your games.
Yeah, and
who
they
liked them when they
keep
were kids.
making the games way too easy, and people are also upset about that.
Yes and no, because the
they
fucking
also
adults
made
are
Let's
still
Go Pikachu and
the
Eevee.
fucking adults are still buying
they're
the
still
games,
buying it,
and
because they
the
still
kids
love
are still
Pokemon,
playing
and they
these
still love the
accessible
competitive
games. And so
aspect.
they've opened up their target audience to a huge
but
range.
Cam, the year before they made Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, the ultimate easy Pokemon game.
Yes, but that was
and
just
they didn't
that
need
was
to
just
do that
a
second time.
That was just
a year later.
tie them over type of game, and we developed this.
Nah.
That was just like, hey, look at this technology.
You don't just develop a new game and be like, this is to tide you over for the next real game.
No, it was just a show. Hey, look, we have an actual game on a console that works with your Pokemon Go app game.
No, dude, that's like saying like. Here's
that's like saying the Order 1886 wasn't just a tech demo. That's just like saying the Order 1886 wasn't just a fucking tech demo. The Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Pikachu was just a tech demo.
Here's your Pokemon
really.
O-ring shorty is what it is. Just fucking onion rings.
It was just a way to go. Oh, it's Pokemon Go. You could play this happy easy game, and you could take your Pokemon with you.
They've always had aspects of Pokemon where like you could take your Pokemon with you. They just incorporated Pokemon Go into it. You can't take those Pokemon and put them back into Go.
Now, there were Pokemon Tamagotchis, right?
Yeah.
Did they ever have it to where you could transfer your Pokemon from your Tamagotchi back to your game? Was that ever a thing?
I don't think so.
That would have been like the late 1990s. That would have been a killer thing to do.
They had that little Pokeball walker thing that came with like a Heart Gold and Soul Silver that you could transfer back and forth between, but that's about it. And that wasn't really a Tamagotchi thing. That was just like a pedometer that would level up your Pokemon.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking Kingdom Hearts 3 is trash. I did not like it. They fucked everything that made Kingdom Hearts Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, didn't they get rid of the Final Fantasy characters in that?
Yep, they completely got rid of the Final Fantasy characters. They showed like Cloud and Vincent as constellations.
Why would they do that? That's so weird.
And that's about it. And
is there any explanation for why they're not there?
No.
That's so weird. And that's the thing they have.
They're adding them back into this new DLC that comes out in like 7 days.
Oh, that's
like a
fucking
week.
dumb.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. They're also adding a bunch of story content and bosses, and they're doing the Final Fantasy 15 fix.
Yeah.
And it's stupid. And I'm really upset with Square for doing shit like that. Because it's like, I'm fine when games get pushed back so that they can, like, really work on the game.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that because, I can trust CD Projekt Red to give me a game that's on level with fucking Witcher 3 because they've done that before. I can trust id with Doom Eternal because they gave me Doom 2016.
Yeah.
But fucking Square Enix is like a fucking teenager with an alarm like every 5 minutes because they can't get up by 10 o'clock, so they start their alarms at like 9, and they're like, okay, we're gonna wake up at 9. Nope, it's gonna be 9:05. Nope, it's gonna be 9:10. Nope, it's gonna be 9:15. They fucking keep doing that shit over and over again with like the last few releases.
And you
they've done.
don't have to be up till 10:30, so you hear every alarm, and you're like, "Fucking just get up!"
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. Like it's you can't trust them anymore. That's
If they're this fucking, wishy-washy about just fucking waking up.
Yeah, just think about what their games are like.
yeah, dude, it's fucking awful. And that's exactly what Kingdom Hearts 3 is. They like, and part of that is I don't
feel like
doubt
there's
due to
more
Disney.
to the Disney
and I know
involvement with
Disney.
Kingdom Hearts 3
I know
than-
Disney
yeah.
was heavily involved, and that's partly why it's fucking awful.
I've seen someone tear apart
But-
that game, and they feel like the story was
I can't.
originally designed to go in a completely different direction.
Oh, I have
than-
no doubt
than
because
Disney acts.
their
it.
bad guy is basically Satan, and they gave him a Darth Vader redemption arc, and it's horrible.
No, I saw like and so they said, hey, we believe that the real intended enemy at the end was supposed to be this person, and it makes a lot more sense with how the level progresses when it was supposed to be this other person.
Nah, not really.
What are you talking about?
There's a reveal where they're like, oh, actually, this guy is the real bad guy at the very end, and it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Okay, so what I've seen, then when the game
and
was
that
torn
game has
apart,
never made any sense, by the way.
It
gets progressively nonsensical. Like he's getting more and more drugs.
The original end enemy was supposed to be Elsa.
For the Frozen world?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
And she would be the one who has the change of heart at the end. It was supposed to be Elsa.
Yeah, that would have made sense, but Disney wouldn't allow them to
Yes,
fuck
but
with
they
their
wouldn't let
characters.
it-
Yeah. I can see that because they made a fucking huge deal about how they had to like have them like animate Remy's tail.
Yeah.
From like the character from Ratatouille.
And so
like, that's some
and
bullshit.
so if you think about how that whole climbing
And
the mountain
I-
part of the game works and how you get up to the end and it's just this other dude, it doesn't make sense at all to have the enemy. And instead, if it was Elsa and her story and progression, it would have made a lot more sense.
all the bosses until like the very end are just heartless. So they're like meaningless enemies.
Yeah.
So it's entirely trash. You're just going through movies and then fighting meaningless enemies.
Yeah.
It's a trash game, and it no doubt is Disney's fault. But I'm going to blame both Square and Disney because
Square keeps
the
making these
gameplay
games.
the gameplay isn't good either.
Yeah. All right.
I think they might have just given up on the game after they've done so much development
Well,
storytelling,
they're
and they had
giving
to
it a
trash
bunch of DLC, and they're still going to make more of them.
No, I think they just gave up on trying to polish gameplay and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, game we liked, Mortal Kombat 11. I think it's pretty fun.
I think it's okay. There's definitely more fighting games that are a lot better. They really slowed down Mortal Kombat, which is a really odd thing for me because Mortal Kombat has always been a really fast fighting game.
Yeah.
And this one felt real slow.
Do you like 10 more?
10, yeah, but not as much as 9. 9 is the best fighting game.
Yeah.
10 is okay. I like some aspects of 11 more than 10, but 10 is definitely a lot faster, and I appreciate that more.
Yeah, 11 is kind of slowed down.
You also are more floaty in 11, which I do not like.
Yeah.
It's a weird aspect, being able to float, like have hang time. You don't have hang time.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat doesn't have that usually. Devil May Cry 5. It's another one we all played.
Oh, man. Devil May Cry 5 is fantastic. I loved it a lot. It's up there with 3 for me. Its gameplay is really fast, really fun. Playing as Dante is fantastic. Really kind of wish that they would focus only on Dante again, because I don't really like playing as Nero that much.
Yeah, I liked playing as V the most.
V
is
is
how unique it
cool,
was, but
I still like Dante. Like Dante gets different weapons,
I
he
still
gets
like
different styles.
V's gameplay was definitely easier / a little bit better.
V is okay, but he didn't take any skill to like play the game.
No, not as much.
yeah, that's true.
Like, at all.
And
I
then
never
Dante
got
was
hit.
so much better than fucking what's his name, the main character,
Nero,
Nero.
yeah.
Yeah. I played through 4 or part of it anyway, not too long ago, and I was like, yeah, Nero.
Not a fan.
This doesn't do it for me. But then it gets to Dante like halfway through, and then you're like, yeah, this is what I wanted.
Yeah, it's a fine game. I think it's good. It's not super high on my list. I guess it's reasonably high.
I mean, it's
on my
a
game.
they're trying to tell a story in that one, which is odd for me, and I don't like that it's not Dante focused because
Yeah.
that's really all I want. Because Dante's gameplay is the best.
Yeah.
Because they have Nero and his stuff could be cool, but he never gets different weapons. Like that's the thing you like about hack and slash games, you know? Like God of War, you get a bunch of different weapons that you can use the whole time. Devil May Cry does the same thing. Bayonetta does the same thing. You get different weapons, and that's what makes it fun to like switch between them, do whatever, like combo shit. But Nero doesn't allow for that, and I don't like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't like playing the sim really either. There's some cool customization things with his arms. But
It's like when that's kind of cool, but it's like when you switch to Dante, it becomes a lot more like the DMC reboot, you know? You get
super
more of that
fast
feeling,
and-
the super fast, super fluid, like being able to switch weapons on the fly combo, like switch between like angelic and demonic stuff, you know, like that kind of thing. You get more of that playing as actual Dante than you do with any of the other characters.
Yeah. Another reboot slash prequel, Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Modern
we just
Warfare.
reviewed that one. It's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You know, they got gun game lets you play in a party.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
man.
partied up yesterday and played some gun game.
Nice.
Fucking Cam kept coming around corners killing me. It was fucking bullshit.
Craig always comes through when you need him most. It's just like, I've been stuck on this weapon for a minute.
Dude,
Where's that Craig?
I
He comes
absolutely-
running around the corner just for you. It just so you can get past that weapon.
I
Such a great
absolutely
guy.
hate fucking snipers and the rocket launcher and that.
Yeah, the gun game. It's really the rocket launcher. That's my thing that I'll get stuck on because it's a ridiculously small splash range on these rocket launchers.
Yeah, and if you blow up
miss
a car, it doesn't count.
And then
either.
if you miss, it's like you spend the next 30 seconds reloading the fucking launcher.
yeah,
Yeah, they don't give you RPGs
It's
for
so
it
much
either.
faster
it's the Pia.
if you miss, just run out into the middle of combat and die, so you can respawn and have a shot ready to go. It's faster to do that than reload that fucking
yeah,
thing.
that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
I like the custom gun games that we did when I had the javelin one. So I had to like
God.
javelin lock onto a section of land. Craig would like. It was so fucking hard to kill somebody with that
With that
stupid
fucking
gun.
javelin.
Yeah,
So with
that
the
was great.
and then in this next one, you have a gun called the launcher called the Joker. It's
Which
a
is
lock on
basically the
too.
same
It's the
thing.
same thing as a javelin, except so you don't need a lock on to fire it, but it fires straight up and then over to where you want it to go. So after shooting it, it'll land maybe like 5-10 seconds after firing
Yeah.
it. So you have to
Yeah.
fire it where you think people will be. in
That's
about
what the
10
javelin
seconds.
was. I had to fire it where I thought Craig was going to be.
And usually you can do a pretty good job about guessing where they're going to be.
Yeah, Craig's over here dying.
You okay, Craig?
I just coughed and somehow I tasted the alcohol from earlier.
Coming back. Is it good?
Did it just taste like smoke?
A little bit.
yeah.
Did you didn't taste any ethanol, did you?
I don't know.
What do you think? He's dying?
No.
No.
He should
That
already
was-
have absorbed that a long time ago.
That was just a really weird experience.
Okay. Let's see. What else do we have?
2019, we had Control. Again, I'm the only one who played that.
Is it good?
I like it so far. I'm trying to get to the point where I can start flying, because apparently the flying in that game is really fun.
Yeah. I that's one of the ones I kind of want to play. It was nominated for Game of the Year, so I feel like I should. But
It's pretty interesting so far. It's got a mind freak story going on. I'm not sure what's happening, but I think I like it so far. I think Cam would probably like it too.
Control?
Yeah.
Isn't that where you have
It's like
the
you're-
robot and then
No, you're basically it's like a third person shooter, and it's your character is like a psychic, so you can telekinetically grab things and then throw them at people. It's pretty sweet. And then you can fly, you get other powers, and your gun is basically like built out of weird stones, and you like shoot them, and then it just like regenerates. it's kind of interesting.
Cameron hates it.
I know it's kind of a weird description. I'm not sure what's happening in the story yet, but
It's like using telekinesis isn't like a novel idea in video games.
I mean, it's an interesting one though.
Resident Evil 2. I think it's a great game.
Yeah.
Very creepy. Great soundscape. Fun.
I was pleasantly
Fast.
surprised by it.
One of my top games for the year, definitely. I think it's probably number 2 so far. I don't know. Death Stranding. Fuck. I don't know where to put it.
Fallen Order.
Exactly.
I know.
You
have
don't
you,
even
have
know
you
where to put
started?
it. You want to argue it's great, but in the back
You
of your
haven't
mind, you're just like,
No, it is great, but I don't know if it's as great as Resi 2.
You haven't started Fallen Order yet? have
No,
you?
I haven't. No.
Okay.
I have it downloaded. It's ready.
Yeah,
But-
we're going to be reviewing that one.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Next week is
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds, and then after that we'll do a in between, and then we'll do Fallen Order. So stay tuned. For that.
It's an interesting one. Outer Worlds is also another one. Kim and I played that. It's
we won't get too much into it just because of
say
the
that
reviews
it's-
next week.
I'll say that it's kind of like Fallout and Mass Effect had a baby.
In a
Yeah.
way, it depends on how you play it, but you could have it feel more like Mass Effect, or you can have it feel more like
there are
Fallout.
gameplay aspects other than the partners
Mhm.
that are definitely more Mass Effect than they are Fallout.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, we'll dissect that next week.
Astral Chain, another one that
Oh yeah,
I
it's the
played.
ass chain.
Game by Platinum Games.
Yeah,
Need to
that's
play
that's
that.
the game that I
It's
saw
a-
gameplay
it's
of.
a
I was
fun
like,
one.
Nah.
Dude, you got to give it a try. It's fucking
Just
interesting.
vacuuming crystals up. That's the whole game.
That's not the whole game.
The whole fucking everything about it. It's just
You don't have to do that.
It's just the fucking crystals.
You don't have to do that. And you also
And a
hated
robot
the
on a
idea
leash.
of picking up cans, which you don't have to do. You don't have to do
And
any
you
of that.
You fucking have to pick up trash. Don't they pay like? It's just like
You're a fucking police officer, dude. You got to clean up some litter.
yeah. Let's go see some police officers out in downtown picking up trash. Let's watch them.
No,
do
I mean
that.
they're lazy as fuck. Okay, but yeah, Astral Chain's a good one. The combat is really interesting because you're controlling 2 characters at once, and I found out that you can actually play it 2-player, where somebody plays as your Legion, which is interesting.
Nice.
So they get to be the thing on the leash.
Yeah,
Mm.
so they can clean up the trash for you.
Riveting.
Yeah, I know Cam loves
Compelling
that idea.
gameplay.
But yeah, you control like each of the characters with like a different stick. It's like it's really interesting.
It's like Brothers.
Yeah, that one's a cool one. Also, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I recently played that one, so that one's also a really good one. Has a lot of replay value. There's like a bunch of different story variations, like 3 main paths, and then they have like different broken paths that you can go down in each of those ones. And then I think the DLC for it is adding like a 4th house to it, so there's going to be like another house to play as.
Oh, nice.
So
So that it's no
there's a
longer
lot.
3 houses.
Yeah, it'd be like the 4 houses. So
Another
it'd be
big
Harry Potter.
Another big game playing off of Cameron's earlier mention of
Battle Royale,
Battle Royale,
Apex Legends.
Apex Legends. Yeah, first
Yes.
person
Never played
shooter
that.
version.
So I played a little bit of it. I
Sexual confusion.
I definitely-
Royale.
well, yeah, I definitely needed to play more of it than I did. It's just Battle Royale games are a very like polarizing type game. Either you like playing them or you don't, and I enjoy it, but I just never could consistently get people to want to play it with me. But playing the little bit that I did play, and just looking how the gameplay works overall from watching other people play it, I feel like it's the best performing Battle Royale game out there, including Fortnite
Battlefields.
and PUBG.
What about Battlefields?
Battlefield
Like mods?
came out with Battlefield 5 came out with Firestorm.
Black Ops had that Blackout.
Yeah,
And I never
Ops.
played Blackout.
Yeah.
I could never say it. But then Firestorm was a novel idea. They just didn't fully quite polish it all the way. Looting was terrible in Firestorm. And then weapon balance, that they would balance it specifically for the multiplayer. The balance would then feed over into Firestorm, and so making almost certain guns impossible to use in Firestorm because you can pick up armor in that game, and you just wouldn't be able to in a reasonable amount of time kill someone before they could kill you. And so they've just let Firestorm die. They just let it die.
That's lame.
It cried itself to sleep and didn't wake up.
Yeah.
But then Apex, I feel like, would be the battle royale game that you guys would like if you got into it. I feel like we would also like PUBG, but that's a little more overhead to get into with the PC and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, I played a little.
It's on PS4 and Xbox now.
But it's on the consoles now, but it's still not going to run as well. Like that type of battle royale game, I feel, since it's more loot intensive and loot heavy with the mini game of like keeping your loot organized inside your inventory, you really kind of need a mouse for that to make it quick, or they would have to dumb down some aspects to make it as playable. And then I just feel like, I don't know, I can give it a try on PlayStation, but I don't know. I do really want to try Escape from Tarkov, and then I did give Hunt Showdown some love as well. I just, again, don't have people who want to fucking play these games.
Yeah, that's true. You bought it for me. No, I bought it. But I haven't played it yet. Downloaded it. Not played.
I just need friends who want to play the same games I want to play.
Yeah.
I think you'd like Fire Emblem Three Houses Cam. I know it's more of like an anime aspect than you, and you wouldn't appreciate necessarily that part of it, but I think you'd like the gameplay of it a lot.
Yeah.
Why have 3 houses when you could have 4?
Exactly. But no, it's like a strategy type game that I think you'd like.
Okay.
Do you guys have anything else from 2019?
As far as
Concrete Genie was an interesting VR game. What? You asked if we had more games. What the fuck?
Well, you didn't play it in VR, though.
No, I didn't play it in VR, but you don't necessarily have to.
Well, is it really a VR game then?
I mean, it helps to control the brush.
I mean,
for like painting
Borderlands
stuff.
3, I didn't play it, but I heard it was a great game.
I did play it. It was interesting.
Gears 5 came out. I heard it was... I actually didn't
I
know very
have-
much about it.
I have that on Game Pass. Have not played it.
Metro Exodus, I want to play.
Oh,
I
there's
played
that
a little
ass
bit of it.
change.
Blair Witch.
I heard a lot about A Plague Tale.
Daemon Ex Machina. I did.
Baba is you.
I did play a little bit of Daemon Ex Machina. That's,
Did that come out in 2019?
Yeah.
Baba?
Baba?
Baba
yeah.
is you. Yep.
We should totally play Baba as you.
Baba is Cam Cam.
And then,
Cam is Baba.
and then the great disappointment of 2019, which is Anthem.
Oh yeah,
was
no
that
one.
2019?
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that was 2018.
No.
That was early.
And then another game I have, because it came with my graphics card, Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Yeah, I've heard bad things.
Oh,
about
you know
that,
what?
so.
Jump Force and Samurai Shodown came
Oh
out.
yeah, let's mention Tetris 99, the best battle
Dude,
royale game
Tetris-
of 2019.
I would agree with that statement. Tetris 99 is pretty sweet.
Is it a battle royale game though?
Yeah, you're playing against 99 other people when you're trying to beat them.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
free on Switch. You should download it and try it.
All right.
Especially since we were playing a shitload of Tetris at that quarters.
Yeah, yeah. I love how Cameron's just joking about these, and you're just taking it fully seriously. Like, oh my god, yeah. That was
I mean,
I did
I did play those. I did. Yeah, I've heard of them. I did it. You
Yeah.
know? I was only going to talk about ones that I was like familiar with, but yeah.
Just Dance
Oh
2020.
yeah, Goose Game. Untitled Goose Game, the best video game I watched on YouTube this year.
I
Watum.
didn't play that one.
Wadum. What about Wadum, the apple?
Fuck.
Nope.
All right. The game of the year, 2019.
Yeah. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. So fucking good.
Shadows die as many times as they need to until they beat the game.
That's
no,
right.
mine would be Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You never
it
played
was
Sekiro.
going to be Astral Chain, but I think Fire Emblem edged it out.
Dude, Sekiro is such a good game. It is the perfect gameplay in a game. That is how, like I said before,
I don't know about perfect gameplay, but I do like it a lot.
I think that's the way a game can make itself
Nothing
its
like
own art
just,
form.
Yeah. Sekiro, so God of War was the perfect storytelling gameplay, whereas Sekiro is you are not. It's not just like it's not like you're participating in a big story, which you are, but it's more like you're participating in a work of art.
Yeah, you're
Type of thing.
You're
You are
in the battle.
your sword strokes are paintbrush strokes on the canvas, which is life.
yeah,
Which is Sekiro.
Yeah, dude, it's so fucking good.
And then certain fights when you finally get it down and you just fucking get it. It's just so perfect.
Yeah, like that final fight, when you get it down, dude, you can wreck that guy.
My final fight was different than your final fight, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Only by like one stage.
Yeah, mine had...
You missed the Lansing stage.
That stage
about
sucks. I hate that fucking stage.
Like, there's a good chunk of the game I didn't play. See, one could argue that I did not beat the game because there's like a whole bunch of different stuff I didn't do.
There's different endings.
Right.
Yeah, you beat it. It's fine.
But I do really want to find the time to go back and round it off. Like I'm going to make that a goal in February to get the other ending in Sekiro.
Yeah. There are 4, though.
Well, the mainstream ending, at least.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's definitely the game of the year for me. It's just perfection and combat-wise. It's great. The story's fine. It's good. It's simple. It's followable way more than the other games in those that From Software has
I
done.
think it's because they tried to like front load you with an actual story this time instead of just being like, "Hey, here's a vague suggestion of what you're doing. You can go find the story on your own."
Yeah, see, I don't like that. That's just lore bits. That's what Joe's complaint was, and I agree. This game is like... It brings what Bloodborne has combat-wise to a pretty solid story and to the next level, where it's an interactive fight. It's not just a really smooth combat, it's a really smooth fight that you're in. And I fucking love it. And I think they can't go back from there. They have to just keep working to perfect that even further, that style of gameplay. It's really fucking good. That's another one I want to replay this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if Elden Ring doesn't have that?
I'd be surprised if it doesn't have some element of that. I don't think it's going to be as good if it doesn't have something like that. It doesn't have to be the same, but I think they need to retool it, and it works in a night setting as well. I don't think it doesn't work. Like if Dark Souls had this gameplay,
if they're going to do it, it needs to be just as fast because I've experienced that gameplay in the form of Fallen Order. Doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
It's a lot slower, so the parry isn't as good.
yeah,
And he doesn't swing the sword as fast, so it doesn't feel
right.
it doesn't feel right. It feels off.
Yeah, but we'll
It feels
talk about
wrong,
that.
even.
We'll talk about that in a few weeks when we get to it. So that's it. I think I don't have anything else for 2019.
No.
Pretty good year.
Yeah.
Good set of 5 years here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We see more in this half of the year certain things that once they become popular that everyone else has to bandwagon on it and try to make money off of the same idea.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of see it before, but it really fucking is apparent in this next half.
Before it
Where
was multiplayer. Now
you see trends in multiple areas. You see trends in everyone trying to do the same type of game
feel
mode
like-
or adding that game mode to their game. You see trends of people trying to follow basically, the whole thing between Call of Duty and Battlefield where, they're going back in time. We're going to go back in time. Well, they're doing World War II. We're going to do World War II.
I
They
kind
try
of
to stay
feel
in
like
step
that-
to try to keep that market to themselves as much as they can.
I think the reason that it became more of we need to start doing this now is because games have become more, at least the multiplayer games, have become more of a service than they have a game. And because of that, like when something starts making somebody else a shitload of money, then they're like, oh fuck, we need to do that too. So they try to hop on that immediately because there's always been like bandwagoning, like I said before, with like Ubisoft starting the whole towers thing,
every game needs multiplayer,
and the every game needs multiplayer, and the every game needs to have like some kind of drug moment.
Every game needs to have a
weird
loot box.
thing,
Loot boxes is just how do we get money out of
loot
these
boxes is
fucking-
part of this service thing, but like that's. The other ones, they always had that kind of trend where like they started doing something and like, oh yeah, let's do that too. Like they've always had that, but like it fucking exploded as soon as it started making money.
Yeah.
In that service type thing for multiplayer games.
Yeah. And take a look. Like everyone's everyone copied or tried to copy the battle royale aspect.
Even Red Dead was doing the battle
Gameplay
royale.
wise, I feel like Apex is awesome, but the ones who were the most successful and rich because of it, of course, are the creators of Fortnite. They've made so much money off of Fortnite, and they continue to make so much money off of it. Not only from like
loot box type stuff, but from all of the fucking events that they do. Like every time a new Star Wars movie comes out or a new Marvel movie comes out, it's a fucking themed event. You got Thanos in the game. You get
They
fucking
actually
Rey
had a
in the
John
game.
Wick thing too.
They did John Wick. It's just like
Which
they
doesn't seem
try
right,
to keep the
considering
game
they're
as
targeting
up to
towards
pace with
children.
pop culture in the game. And so any pop culture like movie or something that comes out, yeah, it's gonna be in Fortnite for a week at least.
Yeah.
Which is a huge thing that pulls people.
I think it's
to
more
it.
like a month, but yeah.
And then battle passes became a thing because of it.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Where it's free to play.
I don't know
but
what else.
If you
I don't
play
know what
for,
other
if you
games have done
basically
it, but
pay for a subscription, that's what a battle pass is. You're paying for a subscription, but then you get extra bonuses from it, be it more experience or cooler cosmetic items and stuff like that.
yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at it in purely that term, then MMOs have been doing it for forever.
Yeah,
it's
well,
like, it's
that's
it's like
a
loyalty
subscription,
rewards.
but then it turns into a battle pass. And now you see battle passes in things like Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
They're trying to bring that aspect of what is really just like a battle royale type of thing or like a MMO type of thing into a shooter. And all it is for is fucking cosmetic stuff. That's all it's for.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
But
extra
it
experience
also
or unlocking
unlocks, like,
variants of weapons, which is just cosmetic stuff really in the end.
for the most part, yeah. But it also, like, if you don't have certain attachments, it's giving it to you early. So
Yeah,
that's interesting.
which is what those variants are about. But the variants
Yeah.
do have different
you can
damage
you can
values, but they
change,
also have like different cosmetic items that you get with it.
yeah.
But then you can also
Like
buy
I have
just
a
fucking
I have a
packs.
black and gold P90 because of it, and
I have a blue and silver.
I have a
What's
black
that
and
weapon?
gold 1911.
Kilo. I have a blue and silver Kilo. That's the blue tracers. It's the
Oh yeah, it shoots the blue lasers.
yeah, the tracers. But yeah,
It's fucking lasers.
I mean, I'm not very good with the Kilo, so I'm okay with the gun. I still prefer the MP5, but
Yeah.
wait till they start dropping some sick MP5 skins. You know who's going to be dropping some money on Modern Warfare?
Yeah, and that's, I won't spend money in games most of the time with stuff like that.
Exactly.
But like if I play it enough, like I bought the Conan Exiles DLCs and stuff because I'm like I've played this game a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
You know what would make them money? If they added like cosmetic items to the game that was like if they added weapons that were from movies and other franchises to the game,
So
as a skin.
So
for
there's
other
a
things.
there's another thing when it comes to, you probably don't think about this very often when you play shooter games, but in order to have a weapon in the game, they actually have to pay for a license to use that weapon's design in the game. They actually have to pay the weapon manufacturers, and sometimes they charge quite a bit, and sometimes weapon manufacturers don't want to have certain weapons in the game. That's why you don't see certain weapons in video games, because A, the developer doesn't want to pay for the license to use that weapon, or B,
Yeah, that's why they should just make their own.
or B, because gun manufacturers are so scared about them being associated with the next mass shooting or the next video game that portrays such an event. They don't want their design inside a video game.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, imagine how cool it would be if you could get that fucking pistol from RoboCop in fucking Modern Warfare. Or
They
like,
would have to pay for the license
fucking,
to use it.
I mean, yeah, but like, or like having one of those fucking blaster rifles they have from like the stormtroopers in Star Wars in there. That would be fucking sweet. Like that would be an interesting crossover thing that would be unique to a fucking shooter. But they don't have that idea for some reason.
And I think the reason why
And that would be a cosmetic that people would be willing to pay for.
I don't know. I kind of like having it as real guns with real manufacturers. I think that's cool.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't
Or
change
just like
anything. It would just be,
weapons
be
that are
a skin.
within the realm of possibility too. Like maybe some John Wick style weapons would be fun.
yeah.
Like a pencil knife instead. It's just a pencil.
A pencil knife, or like some of the pistols that he's used in some of the first movies and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, game of the half decade.
Game of this half of the decade,
Yeah.
Sekiro.
Over God of War.
No, actually, no. God of War has to win. God of War wins the whole decade. It's that hard. So I forgot that God of War. Yeah. So God of War beats it. It is. You can't say it doesn't, because that's the only game that we've given a perfect score.
Well, you can if it's a game we haven't reviewed.
That's true.
Oh, fuck. We forgot the best game from 2018, Conan Exiles. How could we forget that?
Because it's not the best game.
Yeah.
Just because it's the game you spent the most
It's not
time
even in the
on.
top 10.
Yeah.
Bullshit. It's at least number 3.
No.
God of War.
Dude, as much as we've had fun in Conan Exiles, it's not a good game by
God of
any
War-
stretch of the word.
And
Any other
Conan
game?
Exiles wins the Bob the Builder Award. Can we build it? Yes, we can.
Yeah. Great game.
Dude, fucking at best, Conan Exiles would win the Miscongeniality Award.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. Best game of the decade. I think I'm going to have to agree. I think it's God of War.
It's God of War. Yeah, the game it definitely sweeps the decade.
Sekiro's close.
Yeah, it's
But
close.
There's a lot of games I enjoy almost as much for other reasons, but yeah, God of War has pretty much everything going for it.
And it's like for me, like the game that won the previous half of the decade of actually no, because it came out in 2016. So Doom 2016, like that's like another really good game.
That was also the other one that we've been really close to giving 10 out of 10s to.
And Witcher 3, that was also this decade.
So yeah,
what
pretty
fucking
much
came out? I forget already. What fucking came out 2010 to 2015? What the
Black
fuck?
Ops.
Witcher 3, Modern Warfare 3.
No, did Witcher 3 come out that first half of the
15,
decade?
2015.
2015.
Yeah. So I definitely said Witcher 3 won that previous part of the decade. So yeah, so Witcher 3,
So,
and that's
yeah,
pretty close.
I guess the top 3 games of the decade would be God of
God of
Witcher 3, and then Doom 2016.
Top 4, you have to include Sekiro. So it's going to be God of War.
Well, I mean, Sekiro isn't in mine, so I don't.
Okay,
have
my
to.
top 3. My top
Lies,
3.
Greg.
Okay, I have a new favorite game now, but it's not the top game of the decade. It's kind of strange, right? But my top 3 is going to be God of War is number 1, Witcher 3 as number 2, and then Sekiro is number 3.
I'm going to go God of War, Sekiro, Doom.
And Doom is like very close to being. It's like if I could have 2 position 3s, it would be Sekiro and Doom.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Witcher 3, but I don't like it as much as those others. It's up there, though. It's probably in the top 5 at least.
Yeah.
For sure. Great decade in gaming, though. Really fucking sweet. I'm excited to see what the 2020s bring us. As far as expansions of these games, these sequels that we're waiting on, and new IPs. Lots of great stuff. that's
What
probably
has
gonna
come out already? Anything noteworthy?
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I know you make that sound, but it's a pretty good game. No, really the only things that are coming out this year, as far as we know.
I think it's all silent on the first part of this year, waiting for the next gen of. Oh yeah, Cyberpunk's coming out.
Cyberpunk,
that's
Final Fantasy
September
7.
7.
Doom Eternal's coming out.
Doom
We got
Eternal.
some fucking great fucking
Last of Us
games.
2.
Dying Light 2, Craig.
Yep, Dying Light 2.
Lots
We
of
should
great
play
stuff.
that one, Kim.
Lots of great stuff is coming.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff to keep looking forward to this year.
Yeah, this is the swan song year. This is the year where they come out with the most beautiful games of the console.
that this console is capable of.
Yeah, this is it. This is going to be where we see everyone pull
Oh
out
yeah,
all
we
the
get that
stops.
Half-Life Alyx in March.
This game looks interesting.
Resident Evil 3 remake
Yeah,
in April.
3 make.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Ghost of Tsushima is supposed to come out this year.
yeah, that kind of has to. Yeah,
Yakuza 7.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to play a Yakuza game and then you'll understand. It's fucking great. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is probably my most look forward to game.
I would say for me, it's either the 7 remake. I'm pretty excited, but God of War or Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal. For
feel
sure.
like
and Last of Us 2. Those two.
is
Doom
is
Eternal-
UFF going to review the 7 remake?
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
because
we're
I
planning
feel
on
like
it.
I should play it at least.
you could.
I mean, you didn't play fucking 15.
No, but I feel like 7 is
should.
going to be a better one to get into the Final Fantasy series on than 15 is.
Haven't you played another Final Fantasy game?
Yeah, I played Crisis Core,
Okay. Yeah, I guess you
and
have
that
like.
didn't
I
bring
guess you
me
have
into the series at all.
I guess you have the background for 7. I guess.
Sort of, yeah.
I mean, we could probably do our own review, right, for New Clan?
If you want to, you guys
Yeah.
can.
Came
No, but we can't breach in that territory, which is stupid because this is an all video game podcast. But we can't.
I mean,
we
we were originally going to do it on this show anyway, until apparently Joe changed his mind. Because Joe was the one that said that we should do it for Nude Clan and not UFF. But
Yeah, I think doing it for UFF is right. You guys can still do it though.
We'll think about it.
I guess we could all do it. It's fine. I don't know why we wouldn't.
yeah,
Oh, you couldn't. We just haven't so far.
we'll double it down.
Yeah, I don't see the problem.
Plus, it'd be Cam's first genuine Final Fantasy, I guess,
Yeah, kind of genuine.
since he hasn't fucking played 15.
If it comes out in parts, it's not truly genuine because it's like it
Dude,
doesn't have an end.
that honestly is the thing that makes me the maddest about 15 or the 7 remake.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be weird, but
I think they're like adding too much, trying to be like making it a cash grab.
oh, I know they are. Yeah, I
it's,
see.
It's.
The collector's is almost $400. I know it's a cash grab.
I'm guessing the game is going to be like. I would say main story is probably going to be around 20 hours at most.
for this part. Yeah,
Yeah, and then they're just going to like shove a bunch of side stuff in there.
like 15, where it's
Like 15.
mostly shitty side
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I
time
think it's
filler.
going to be the exact same thing.
Probably, but we'll see. Gameplay looks really fun though, so
Yeah, I hope so. I haven't really looked too much into it, but I've heard some stuff.
it looks pretty good. I'm excited, and it's going to be the next main Final Fantasy too. Even though it's a remake, it's the next main project. So I look forward to
I
it
want-
as if it were 16.
I want 16.
I know. I want a new.
I'm going to say the game I'm most excited for this year is definitely Doom Eternal, and then followed by
Cyberpunk?
maybe. I mean, like
I mean, you have more. See, for me, most anticipated. I guess it changes like the more I have to wait. So Cyberpunk is like super far off, and then and then
like
you know,
I
Doom Eternal
really have
is like
high
right
hopes
around
for
the corner.
Cyberpunk, but
So it's like
I mean, I've been broken. I'm not a whole man anymore. I can't be excited about a video game anymore.
Yeah,
because of 76.
76.
I don't know. I don't know if
We tried to work
Cyberpunk
a game.
looks cool, but I don't think it's going to be like the greatest game ever. I think it. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to pull it off with
I'm
that style.
certain it'll be a good game, but I'm not expecting it to be God of War 2018.
I think it'll be good, but I don't think it's going to be as great as everyone's convinced. It looks interesting, but I don't think it looks that interesting to me. I think their third-person Witcher. It's going to be weird to see them manage a first-person.
Kind of has like
game.
a yeah.
It's like a first-person Fallout almost. Like I don't know how they're going to do it. It seems.
I don't know. I think
like a
the
lot.
atmosphere is going to make it feel like kind of like a RoboCop slash
Like Blade
what was
Runner
it?
kind of
Blade
thing?
Runner. Maybe I don't know.
It's like
I was
Blade
thinking
Runner.
of like I was thinking about Judge Dredd, but it's still not. It's not going to be quite.
It's like Blade Runner and Fallout is what it kind of seems like. And it's not that it doesn't look cool. I just don't. I'm not
See,
looking
the vibe
forward
that
to
I
it
was
as
getting
much.
was more like Blade Runner and Deus Ex.
Yeah, you can
Because
see that
Deus
too.
Ex is a lot more like that, and it has the same kind of like augments type of thing going on. So I'm kind of expecting a Deus Ex type game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know if it's a pre-order necessarily.
It's
for
probably
me.
even got like the AUG racism
probably.
aspect. So like, it's definitely looking like that to me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to pre-order it yet either. That's where I am with it. I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah, I'm
I'm,
not
if
gonna
I'm
do it.
that excited.
I might pre-order Doom.
When it gets closer and they start showing more stuff,
Depends
I
on what
may
you
change
get
my
as a
opinion,
pre-order bonus.
But yeah,
Oh, dude! What if they? I don't know if it would be a thing, but giving away those Cyberpunk leather jackets as part of the pre-order bonus, would that be too much?
they'll probably give away those sunglasses that Keanu Reeves wore in that one little cutscene they
Yeah,
showed.
it'd be super cheap though too.
Yeah,
Like super cheap knockoff sunglasses. They're not going to actually make them cool.
yeah. Well, that's what we got to look forward to. It's exciting.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else?
No, pretty much sums it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get to them games when they come out.
yeah. We'll keep on playing. when
Keep
we
on
can.
keeping on.
That's right. So,
Ghost of
guys,
Tsushima, I think, is like summertime.
yeah, that one I'm excited for. After Sekiro, though, I'm like, I don't know if I'm as excited for that one as I was.
I am excited because of the samurai aspect. It's not something that's been explored that much.
No, especially not recently.
In our gaming. Yeah, especially not recently.
And I'm excited to see it in a full HD environment that looks beautiful.
It's, I think it's like open world because it's like those guys who did, like Infamous and shit. So it's going to be... It should be something.
What about
something
Samurai
special.
Showdown?
Samurai Showdown is a fighting game, and it's fucking sweet.
What about Feudal Alloy?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah,
No,
I'm not
surprised. Very surprised by that.
Why would you expect me to know what that is?
No, you just seem to know what all of them are.
Just because I know what Samurai Showdown is. You guys remember that I played Samurai Showdown 5 like last year, right?
I do.
No,
Yeah, I remember that.
not at all.
I remember that. It was a game you beat, actually.
Yeah.
But, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Let's do some Hog League. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hog League semi-final round. This week, guys, the most offensives against the step motherfuckers. Abrac and his deadly whip get the week off. Guys, everyone knows it. I know it. You know it. We all know it. Step motherfuckers crushed it. 924 points. Count that. 924 to 369. Good effort put up by the opposition, the most offensives, depending on how you feel about Joe. But not enough. Not quite enough to pull it off. Top performer for the most offensive. Definitely Troidal Power. Congratulations yet again, man. But the crazy thing about Step Motherfucker is that team, something going on there. They all put forward points, except for the 3 that never put forward points, pretty much. Everyone that's active chipped in this week to make a resounding effort to win. Top performer, angry ass black dude this week. So congratulations. You guys are going to the finals to face off against Abrac and his aforementioned deadly whip. They got the bye week this week because of the way I set up the playoffs. And good luck, guys. And if you're not hogging because you're not in the playoffs anymore, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. It's a great way to keep track of your stuff. It's a cool little leaderboard thing. It doesn't really mean, it's cool and it's fun, but it doesn't really mean that much. So don't feel like you have to save your points for when like the Schwettmeisters come back into play. Also, I have some really cool ideas for next season that's going to incorporate people that aren't on a team yet, and I'm going to bring in salary caps and trading deadlines and so on and so forth, and penalties for going over those salaries. So it's going to be just like a team in the NBA, as far as I understand it, which isn't super far because I haven't been into that scene in quite a while. But look forward to that to make it even more convoluted. And we'll talk to you guys again next week. As always, though, please, if you're going to do anything this week, live always in the